Push that button and then push that button. And here we are. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. I'm seeing, what do I see? 12 concurrent viewers. A moment ago, I saw 27 concurrent viewers. What happens is when I start the live streaming to YouTube, that count just recycles. Over here it says 18, and I see there it says 9 likes. Oh, there it says 20 concurrent viewers. Now it went down to 19. Oh, YouTube craziness. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. I'm seeing you in the chat room. Somebody chimed into the Zoom session a moment ago, and I'll bring them in a moment. First, I want to go over here and acknowledge the people in chat. Let's see. I see some chit-chat going on, starting with 1108, starting with Sam Lazar. That's all I'm seeing right now. There could have been some chat going on before that. And that's 11:08 my time. So I'm in the Pacific time zone. It's 1 o'clock right now. So that started 2 hours ago. So hello to Sam. Hello, Parker Morse. Blackwatch. There's a lot of the comedy stylings of Blackwatch in the pre-show today. This is the Blackwatch pre-show that I'm looking through here. I'm going to say that's a ghost exclamation something. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm never sure what Blackwatch's humor means. Ken Stout is busy today. He's off on traveling the country on tour. I think he's off to see a relative or something. Blackwatch thinks he's going to get to take on the MC duties when I take a break. We'll see about that. Dan Rather and Wally Schaefer interviewed Doug on his views of the state of technology today. Doug had to be excused due to senior's moment of confusion. So I guess that means Dan Rather and Wally Schaefer will fill in for me. Let's get on. That's kind of. I'm not going to read through all of these. So mainly saying hello to everybody. Here's Darren Gilholm. Hello to you. Tim Sal's here. Hi, Tim. CFWW. Vladimir Pendovsky lynching you. And I said hello to Vladimir already. Rick Lakes. Hello, Rick. Good to see you here. Ida Rivera. Hi, Ida. I just before starting the live stream, I noticed your comment on a recent video about the customizing the taskbar, and that was actually another variation that I had not actually looked at yet. Pretty simple, but you know, these are early days for me with Windows 11. I've started revamping my checklist for Windows. For the lab work setup of a new computer with Windows 11 in mind, to figure out where to go to do the things that I want to set up for my clients when it's Windows 11 computer. Let's see, that's chit chat between Rick and Vladimir, and there's another chime coming into Zoom. I'll pick them up in just a moment after I say hello to everybody. Chris Garrett, hello. He's going to join for about 30 minutes. All right. Good to have you for whatever time we can have. Catherine Anna Hauserman's here. Hi, Catherine. And let's see, Chris Garrett, I think I already said hello. Rick, and that kind of skipped there. How far did that skip? Sane Goat, hi to you. Sam Lazar again. And Marco Maelstrom, hello to you. Gary Weisenberger's here. Hi, Gary. Oh, I guess AVDW check. Why have I been falling down on that? I'm taking the watch off. Gary reminded me of that, of course, because he has my cell phone number to text me if I miss something, and also Aaron does. It seems like I haven't seen Aaron for a while. What's up? Speedy Z, hello. And John Aloy Sr., I'm going to say. John Aloy Sr. And Zvi Menor is here. ADV good, he says. Thank you. and the W part I got on the watch. So Marco says, I joined you from Carey's channel. Well, welcome, Marco. So glad to have you here. Probably a lot of names that you recognize are here. Sam says he has to head off soon as he has a video call to do with his gym instructor. Video call workout. Wow, how about that? I've kind of improved or revamped my workout strategy recently. So I've got that one highlighted. Let's come over here to Zoom. I got to switch to this screen and let people in. I'm going to remove the waiting room lock. So if anyone else joins, they'll just come right in. Here's an admit all and go back to punch my button for Zoom. There's Tim Sal, Darren Gilholm, was that, and Gary Weissenberger. Hello to the three of you. Nobody's got the cameras on. Oh, this is going to feel so lonely. No one's got cameras on. All right, so be it. Hi, Tim Sal. Are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Good to see you. But no, I don't see you. Good to have you on board. Oh, there you are.
Been a while.
You turned your camera on and you switched positions, so I didn't realize that right away. Yeah, been a while. How are you been?
Kind of enjoying some time off for a change.
Good. I'll tell you what, I was enjoying some pre-show time. I was just totally relaxed and chill and almost fell asleep half an hour before showtime. That's kind of unusual. And so I'll say hello to Darren Gilholm. How are you? Are you going to say hello, Darren?
Okay.
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 You got anything to report?
Nope.
Nope. All right, moving on to Gary. Hi, Gary.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I don't know why. I think I'm kind of caught up with some of my work stuff, and it's just given me such a relaxed sensation today. I did work for about an hour and a half already this morning for a client. And Jeff, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good. So let's see. I saw 32 viewers. I think that's probably a record for the start.
Maybe 31. Two of them are probably me.
Two of them are you. All right. So you're going to have twice as much to say. Do you want to come on with another camera angle?
Nah.
All right.
I've got chat up on a tablet.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll come back here to chat because there's other stuff happening here. Let's see, from Chris, maybe you can help with the issue I have on my refurbished laptop. It's just a small issue with one USB port. It was suggested I get drivers from Dell. Do you want to come into the Zoom and tell us about it, or go ahead and tell more about, are you wanting to do it during this session, or do you want to have a separate session to deal with that? If you want to deal with it now, just go ahead and either come into the Zoom session or tell us what it's about. I'm not sure if you have the Zoom credentials. I don't recall. If you don't, send me an email, Chris, DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com, and then let me know in chat that you sent the email, and I'll send you the credentials. Maybe you can help with the issue I have on my refurbished laptop. It's just a small issue with one USB port. The issue has one USB port. Well, it's a laptop with one USB port. Suggests I get drivers from Dell. So what's going on? Say what?
I'm sorry. The reason I talked to him last night on Ken's channel.
Yeah.
And he has a Thunderbolt USB and needs a driver.
Needs a driver. So it's a Dell refurbished laptop. The Thunderbolt or USB 4, I'm assuming.
Exactly. It shouldn't be. I mean, it's too new, but that's what it said on Dell's site.
How about just go to Dell's website and look up the drivers for his service tag number, and The driver should
That's
be
what-
there.
It is. That's what I did for him.
Oh, so it's already, wait a minute. If it's already solved, why is he asking about it in chat?
Because he didn't go get the driver yet.
Oh, he didn't get the driver. Okay, well, hey, Chris, you could put the service tag into the chat. And if you don't know how to get the service tag, I can show you that. I have a computer right here that I can demonstrate that on. So we need to find out where are you at with that. Let's see, I'm highlighting chat things over here and don't have that on screen. So I just fixed that. Tony Wallow's here. Hi, Tony. Shuffle and D. Oh, that's Blackwatch. Not to say it's not worth. Well, it's his humor. I'm not going to try to figure it out.
That's because I'm in Las Vegas.
Say again.
That comment is, but since I live in Las Vegas.
Something
I
about
was saying shuffle
Jeff,
and deal.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. You're in Las Vegas. So Jeff Ryman, shuffle and deal, oh man. Okay, that's what it is. Chris says he'll email me later about it. All right. Well, now I'm not going to provide you answers by email. I create videos for the purpose of making them available. I'm not offering free tech support through private email correspondence. So I'd rather you do it in the chat room, or come on, or send me an email now and let me show it on this video, and we'll deal with it. But one-on-one private support by email, I'm not available for that. And it's probably not what you're intending to say. Blackwatch says Gary fixed his mic, whatever what that was about. And Catherine is well, I just scrolled and it just went wonky. Okay.
Good afternoon, Ken.
Oh, Blackwatch is there. Hi, Blackwatch.
Ooh,
Whoops, I didn't log soon.
he's real
He's real.
sometimes.
Okay. Catherine asks, is it an AMD LAN port Intel to Chris? And that was about the USB issue. I don't know.
Dell had an
laptop.
app. The last Dell I had an app that you could get the service tag on the screen if you couldn't find it on the outside of the laptop.
All right.
Is that still true?
Dell support app.
Yep.
Dell support app. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that if you don't have that on the computer, then that can be a nuisance. So let me just go ahead and show that, because I'll show my favorite way of doing it. So there I've got my computer number 3 punched up, and I've got to change the video input to show this Dell laptop that I have right here. And that didn't. Oh,
No, Chris says he got the service tag from the BIOS.
Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah, that's one way to get it. I bring up a command prompt and then use WMIC space BIOS space get space serial number enter, and that'll give you
So that's a lot easier.
the service tag. I like it. It's just you don't have to. It's not restarting the computer. You're not trying to get into BIOS. You don't have to download an app from Dell. So, and it works on all of them. So that's my method.
And they have an application that'll get all the current Dell drivers for that machine also.
Oh yeah. So once you got the service tag, then go to Dell's website, support, it'll ask for your service tag, you put that in, and then click on a tab for drivers, I think it's called, drivers and something maybe. And then I like to use the driver app, and it actually installs on the computer, and it will go find all the drivers that are needed. I used to install the drivers individually, but sometimes they have multiple different network drivers for a particular service tag number of laptop, because they're giving all the drivers for that model laptop, not just for that service tag. So you have to read through them and pick and choose which one is right for your laptop, and sometimes it's hard to figure out. So I just like to let the Dell app figure it out. Marco said to Blackwatch, yep, the one and only, have plenty of offers no one can refuse. Hellos. Catherine asked everybody to like the video. Let's see where we're at with that. 37 current viewers and 22 likes. Thank you everybody for being here. And I haven't even mentioned the subject that's on the title of this video. Sam says, after my gym video call workout, I have to go to a client, make sure she is still on Windows 10 plus updates. If she already on Windows 11, I will still do the updates. Hellos. Thanks for hitting the like button from Sane Goat. Hellos. Chris, we can do it later. I have to leave in a minute. Okay, got it. And Blackwatch, you're welcome. I went to the coffee shop and whoops, scrolled past that again. I went to the coffee shop and promised all of them free coffee and bagel if they showed up today. That's why we have more people starting this. That makes sense. Tom K. I think that's the first time I've seen Tom's name today. Happy Saturday to you too, Tom. Chris, to me and Gary, it has 3 USB ports. One is dead. Latitude E6570. I did download the drivers. I will install later. So that's a little different issue. If it has a one dead USB port. Now some computers in the CMOS, you can turn off individual USB ports. So they...
Yeah, but that's excuse me, that's the Thunderbolt driver also. That USB port is for the other driver.
You got me all confused now. What?
He has 3 USB ports.
Yeah.
Correct. One is a Thunderbolt. I keep mispronouncing it. The other 2 are just plain USB ports.
Oh, okay.
So it needs a driver for the 3rd port.
Okay. Well, that would be the first assumption. There could be something else beyond that. He says he did download the drivers. Oh, he will install later, so he hasn't installed yet. Oh, whoops. Okay, I was on the wrong button there. Blackwatch, you're not watching my buttons. He says he will install later. So hello's going on. Sam says he will join the stream Zoom later if you're still on and I have time available. Chris, I also have a mini USB hub and a docking station. So one USB, if it is dead, it is okay. I understand about the email. I cannot do it now. I got to leave. Okay, fine. We're good. We're good, Chris. Catch you later. Catherine is saying that she provides free support. So if somebody wants a private, well, she's more on Facebook. I don't know how email, but I guess she's expanding her offerings. She's been a long time known for helping people with parts selection, and I know she would provide help to people for various issues too. But I'm kind of taking this as maybe she wants to promote that more and do more of that. So great. And Catherine, she doesn't have the catch that I'm assuming she doesn't have the catch of creating a YouTube video out of it. But just she enjoys helping so much. And Catherine, you're wonderful for that. Sam, with my Wondershare issue, I ended up installing Windows 10. No issues so far. So Wondershare, I'm assuming that's the Wondershare Filmora that my brother Stan is using, and I don't remember the issue he was having. So I guess that means, oh yes, I do, vaguely, not remembering it completely, but yeah, there was something. Oh yes, he couldn't access the Wondershare servers, and so he reinstalled Windows 10, and apparently that problem got solved by doing that. Chris says he did get the Thunderbolt driver. So Chris, hey, you got to go. So you don't need to keep answering our questions. I understand you need to go. Let's go ahead. Catherine's saying it's in BIOS too. That would be the service tag number for the Dell computers, I think. And Chris got it from BIOS. What's for lunch? Hellos, lentils. I think I do need Chris says, I think I do need the Thunderbolt. I have it downloaded but not installed. Oh, yes. So that's probably going to fix that. So we may not hear from him on that later. Do it later. Hope you are. Where have you been? Chris says, thanks. The Zone. Hello, The Zone. I am fine. And how are you? There. Let's see. So what was it? The Zone. The Zone. There was an internet provider in my town that was called something The Zone. I'm sure you're not the same individual. Made up this laptop story to get press time. Oh, yeah, well, all right. That's Blackwatch harassing him. Hello, service tag. He gave us the service tag, but I'm not going to pursue that now because he's gone. If you're not gone, Chris, go leave. You said you need to go. Go. I need about $2,000 a month free support. Whatever that humor is. My streams are lousy. Well, that's no reason to not do them. For PC issues, I have 10 minutes. Oh, 10 minutes before he needs to go. I keep trying to push him away. He says he's got 10 minutes to go. So it's well, that was at 1:19. Yeah, it's 1:29. He's got to go. And hello, William Dawson. And The Zone says no, haha, probably meaning that's not, he wasn't the internet service provider. So the thumbnail and the title for this video. Let's go here. Zoom Saturday and chat Carey Holzman's membership idea. And let's see, where do I get a good view of that thumbnail? LWTDB goes to my channel. Yeah, I said discussion, Carey YouTube membership idea, and in the description of the video. Yeah, now let me put this out on the table. This is not a sanctioned discussion. Meaning, I didn't ask Carey if I could do this or if he cared or whatever. I'm interested in this subject, and I have opinions, and I want to talk about it. I hope he doesn't mind.
I missed this show yesterday. I didn't know nothing about that until last night and on Ken's channel.
Oh, about the membership?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
been 3 weeks in a row now.
Say what?
He's talked about it 3 weeks in a row now.
Oh, yeah, he's talked about it before. Carey Holzman has floated the idea of adding a membership feature to his channel, including some specifics of how he envisions that working. I hope he does this and it works well for him. I'd like to discuss it and suspect some other Carey fans might like to as well. I know there are people on both sides of the question, so I request courtesy and respect to each other. Sessions open to any tech topics of interest. Now, let me tell you, I've made notes.
That's cheating.
That is notes just about Carey Holzman membership. This is notes about tech topics, other recent stuff that I've been working on that I thought could be of interest. Because I don't have a computer to work on right now, unless I could, but I'm not planning to. So anyway, I have some differences of how I'd like to see that work out for Carey. Of course, he's going to do it the way that he wants to do it. But I have some different opinions than Carey. So, you ready to hear me? Yep. There's 3 or 4 votes.
Yep.
All right. And is chat ready to hear me? Let's see, where are we at there? That one. Not sure if someone mentioned this already, but you can also get the service tag by running. Yes, I mentioned this. This is what I do. This is my favorite. Open a command prompt. It does not have to be an elevated command prompt, meaning you don't have to run command as administrator. And WMIC, every time I say that, I want to say KEYMOUSE. WMIC. What?
Good night, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Yeah. WMIC BIOS get serial number. And I played around with some other things because you can get some other information out of BIOS with those commands. Sorry, but who's Carey Holzman from the Zone? So for those who don't know, and I know there's some people on my channel that don't know, and sometimes people ask that question just
I think
They
I've seen
do
him
know
at
him. What?
Carey's channel.
Say again?
I think I've seen the zone at Carey's channel.
Yeah, right. So some people will ask that question even though they already know. But I'm going to go here to youtube.com/Carey Holzman just to document it because there may be people watching who don't know. Carey Holzman is a tech YouTuber. He's a real life computer consultant who does work on during his live streams and his recorded videos, does a lot of things about building custom computers. He's done a lot of that work for his clients. He supports small business and to some extent private home users of computers. He's been it for about 30 years, has some really great history to talk about, and he's been doing YouTube for, I want to say it's 8 years. Is that what he usually says? If I go here to sort his videos, whoops, you can't see that. Let me bring this up here. If I go sort by and then choose oldest, that'll give me his oldest video here, 13 years ago. And that's blowing out a PC with a leaf blower. I do that now by virtue of learning it from him, and that video had 112,000
So much easier.
views. Yeah, it's easier.
Canned air sucks.
I actually bought a battery operated blower to make that easier. I started with my power corded blower and then actually bought one, and it doubles for my yard. If you can read this, you're looking at the wrong monitor again. If I wasn't late, I wouldn't be me from Jim. Hello, Jim. Somebody else came in. Was that, did I hear something?
Alex.
Oh, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Yes, I came in.
Yeah.
Hello.
Matthew provides the link. Yes. Costanza. I was trying to pronounce that with an N instead of an S. Costanza, the Magi. Magi? Is that the word? No, that's not Magi. That's not the spelling for Magi. Mag. Not sure what that word is referring to. Good to see you. Glad you got here. Jim is catching up in DVR mode. Thank you for doing that. So catching up, how do you catch up in DVR mode? You go back to the beginning and then hold down the shift key, press period key once or twice, and that plays it on higher speed so you can catch up. The zone says thanks. Rick Lakes, hellos back and forth here. You can put the same ID in front of 100 people and get a different answer to the ID. You know, I thought of that just when I said there are people on both sides of this issue. There's not two sides of this issue. There's many faceted angles to this issue. Memberships, but how to go about doing memberships. And that's where I have a difference of opinion. Speedy C, go for Doug. What are your thoughts? I've been banned on the channel. I'm subscribed, but forgot about it. Oh, the zone says he was banned from Carey's channel. We'll try and watch him more. Catherine, 12 to 14 years, I would say. Oh, for how long Carey's been. Costanza, as in George Costanza. Oh, George Costanza, yeah. In the fantasy class or wizard, wouldn't that be Magi? I don't know. I'm not sure. Does anybody in Zoom know? Magi or mage in the fantasy class or wizard? I never could get into wizard genres very much. Marco, I met Carey in Phoenix. He's a great person, as great as he is in his broadcast. We see eye to eye. I am short as he is. Vladimir, what are the benefits for YouTube members? I'm clueless on that topic. Okay, so the basic concept of YouTube membership. Let's see, can I even show that on my channel's not qualified for memberships yet, I don't think. And Okay, I'll just talk it off the top of my head instead of trying to bring up some over here. Basically, memberships 10 megabits per second, around that range. That's fine. So what is going on? My streaming computer shows that it is sending. It shows total bytes, dropped frames, 660. What's that about? I remembered to shut down all the things on my streaming computer that I routinely have to shut down. That is such a big pain point for me. I need a new computer for streaming. Let's see. So I've got the Zoom session going on my streaming computer. What else could be going? Oh, the CPU for my streaming computer says you don't see that in the Zoom session. 51%, 43%. The GPU is higher than usual at 76%. Let me stop the Google Earth. I'm going to click onto the Google Earth. That's a video that's always running in the background. So I'm going to go
Hey, you're live again.
stop that. We're live again?
Yeah.
All right. So
You got Google Earth showing.
yeah. All right. So back to here. So since my speed test showed my internet speed was going good, it might have started picking up the stream again, because last time that happened, what we found was that my internet speed was really bad, but then it cleared up within a matter of seconds. My monitoring computer, my something or other, my iMac computer, is still showing the refresh circle, so it doesn't look like it's working.
I got you live over here on two different devices.
All right. So I've got, I see it running live on my computer number 3 and my computer number 2. What happened? Did I close that one down? I think I did. Does that mean I closed? No, chat's still live. Last thing I see, the zone says the stream stopped working for me as well. It's good now, so I guess we're back in business. Let's take a look at people that hit me in orange. So I started talking about the membership. Carey wasn't banned. I said I subbed it, but forgot a bit. Oh, okay. Sorry, misunderstood. Magi usually play as another class, never wizard or magi. Will do anything for beer or pizza. Oh, Zvi gave me the refresh icon. Going down, ended it. We lost you in the red. Members get content and others things not allowed to other people who just watch YouTube. In private. Working. Okay, thanks for letting them know. Ken is messing with you. Ken caused that. That makes sense. Okay, so let's get back. I want to get to a...
Ken caused that. There's no way Ken could cause that because he's in Indiana right now.
I think I'm aware of that. We're just messing with him, right? We're just messing with him. And if Blackwatch weren't here, I'd be blaming it on him. Although, even if Blackwatch is here, he could still be doing that, right? And he'd be trying to blame Ken for it as misdirection. That still could be Blackwatch doing that. So anyway, I tried to go to Jim Browning, but I think he's not doing memberships. He does. Oh, I know. He does Patreon now, not memberships. Who does memberships? Does anybody know any YouTube site that does memberships?
Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast does memberships.
Mr. Beast, sure. So let's go show that what you see when you get to his channel. Here's Mr. Beast. I'm going to pause it. Yes, this is it. So here we are. Here's how you know if a YouTube channel has memberships. Here's Mr. Beast's channel. It's got a join button. That's the proof in the pudding right there. If there's no join button, then they don't have memberships. If it says joined with an ED on the end, then that means you are already a member. I think I'm a member of some, but I don't remember who right now. Obviously, I haven't been participating much except for paying. But I prefer to do support through, like PayPal or like Carey has the Amazon gift cards, because YouTube takes a pretty big chunk out of this. So here, when I click on join, you can see what that particular YouTube channel offers for their members. Let's see, let's make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to make the picture-in-picture smaller. So here's $4.99 a month, and some channels can have different levels of joining, different levels of membership. And what you get with Mr. Beast loyalty badges next to your name in comments and live chat, and then he says nothing. You get nothing. I just need money to fund my expensive videos. So depending upon the YouTube content creator, they'll have different levels of membership and they offer different benefits. And what Carey's been talking about doing is private live streams, which I like that a lot. And that part is I'm on board with. So let me go ahead and I'll just go down my list to summarize, capsulate it. And a lot of this is the things that I contrary to what Carey's thinking. His $25-ish a month, I'm on board with that. I like that. So that's not even on my list. And you'll understand why better. It is high, but it's for the reason of why he wants to do this membership. So my first one is do no show prep. Don't do any show preparation. I'm just going to go down the line. Stop talking about it, just do it, is my second item. Never make the streams public, is my third item. Fourth, publish selected clips from the private live streams, such as, he's been doing the Planet Cryos. Planet Cryos has been doing edits for him. So when there's a piece from one of the private members only videos that would make good content for his public audience, then clip that out and publish it for the public. No giveaways. I don't like his idea about giving free stuff to the members at all, because I think the people that would be joining the membership are people that want to support him in a financial way. And if he's giving that money back to them in the form of trinkets, then the people who are paying that money are robbed, cheated out of the satisfaction of supporting him financially. And that adds more stress to Carey, because if he commits to that, he has to keep that up. He has to keep finding stuff. That's more stuff on his to-do list. That's more stress. I think this membership thing should be a stress reliever for him. It should be a safe zone for him. It should be a place that revives him and regenerates him so that he can come on to his regular live streams and regular videos with a much, without the burnout. If he does these giveaways, he's just going to be burning out more. Stop burning out.
And no trolls.
Say again?
And no trolls.
Yes, and that's the reason why this membership live streams for him would be, I think, such a re-energizing, refreshing, relaxed, enjoyable, easy, no-brainer thing for him to do. No prep. Now, when he comes out with a really good teaching during that session that is good content for the public, then that piece should be edited out by Planet Cryos and edited. And I think the Friday live streams with Mitch should continue just the way they are. I think they're beautiful the way they are. They got a large audience, and if you reduce those, that's gonna upset that audience. Okay, so let's see. I said no giveaways. Oh, and when he was talking yesterday about, I didn't get to watch the whole thing yesterday, but he was talking about giving away more value than what he's charging people. And he's talking about how he could go in the hole with it. And it reminds me of Lucy Ricardo. Do any of you in the Zoom session remember Lucy Ricardo on this point? Jeff does. Apparently there's a new movie out, the Ricardos, that's just hit the theaters. But she did. They had an episode where she was baking cookies. Hello, Jim.
Hey.
She was baking cookies and she was selling them for less than it was cost to making them. And Ricky says, "You're gonna lose money that way." And Lucy says, "Don't you know anything about business? I'll make it up in volume." So
Well, we had a friend running a restaurant that was giving away a lot of food. Remember that?
oh yes. Wait a minute.
At the airport.
At the airport, I figured out what he was giving away a lot of food. I don't think I knew that.
It was some stuff given away. You finally told her, "Hey, you got to quit doing that. You're going to go in the hole."
Oh yeah. Oh wait, yeah, I think I know who you mean, but I don't think they gave. I don't think they gave food to me because they knew I was okay. I don't know. Well, what was it? Was it the husband and wife team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't want to say any names on
No,
there.
we won't say any names, but they're a wonderful couple, just a true, generous heart, and yeah, I remember that because they were struggling to make the business work, and she just had a heart to do free stuff. I remember that. Yeah, and
Wonderful people.
Yeah, wonderful people, and I felt it, and you probably felt it, wanting to just say, "Hey, we don't need you to do that. We want you to succeed financially here." Refresh. Okay, continuing on my list. Let's see. So that's refresh and generate and candid talk, meaning on these private live streams with the members of the group, he can let his hair down. His hair's not long enough to let it down, but he can relax and be more open, be more of himself, and know that whatever we talk about, it's not automatically going to go public, and nobody's going to see him turn that off. There's been some of his live streams that he's actually changed it to private afterwards because there was something that occurred during the live stream he wasn't comfortable with. I don't know what the reasons were, but there were a couple occasions I went back. I knew this because I had watched part of the live stream, and then I tried to rewatch it a day or two later to catch the pieces I missed, and it wasn't available, which told me it must have gone private for some reason. And then, the next one was to improve his state of mind for public live streams, because I can see it, and you guys see it too, that the trolls in the chat room and some of the mean comments, they wear him down. And I think a private live stream where it's a safe place for him, it's all supporters, there's no stress, he's not having to give stuff away to keep people there. I think
And he doesn't have to answer the same question over and over and over.
True.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet on that if I were you.
Well, yeah, there's still going to be people in the membership group who will ask questions that have been answered before. And that'll still be there. Say
I got two comments. I probably missed a couple. I was on the phone. Anyway, comment one is last week he didn't do a show for 7 days.
Right.
So I mean, it's up to him, of course, but it's not like he did one every day to be upset about or have people think. And I have another one that, matter of fact, Jeff and I both watch at times. And he says right up front, if I don't answer your question out of the third time, I'm not answering it.
Yeah.
And basically, if you have to ask it a fourth time, I'm getting angry. Because this guy says, obviously, what color is the chair? What color is the chair? What color is the chair? If he hasn't answered it, he's not going to answer it.
Yeah. I saw one in the chat yesterday that kept making the same comment multiple times spread apart, and I don't quite remember what it was, but it was obvious he was trying to get, oh, I know, he was saying does that they were working on the big beast build, and he was saying, does it come with a lift hook or a crane or something like that? And he kept repeating that over and over, and I could track Carey reading the comments, and he was skipping that one, and the guy just kept putting it in, and yeah, that's the kind of thing, get the hint, catch the hint. He's not interested in that for whatever reason. And then that last comment on there was Friday Live with Mitch should always be public. But I think he's talked about it enough. I don't think it's gaining any ground to keep talking about it on the live streams. I wish he'd just do it, but I don't want to see him cause himself more stress and this obligating himself to give things away. Like, I certainly would be a member, but I don't want malware bites. I don't want the other freebies he talked about giving away. And I don't feel good about receiving freebies that I'm not going to make use of. That's kind of like my boomer mentality of not letting things go to waste. And anyway, so there I have spouted my ideas on the subject.
I don't think he can give away enough stuff to, quote, give more value back.
That would be so hard to keep. He was talking about doing that every month. Giving away
that was a little exaggerated in my thoughts.
It is too much. That's too much.
If it's $24.99 a month, some of that's going to go to YouTube, right? I mean, they have a cut.
Yeah.
And even if you don't think about that part, say he gets, 50 subscribers, you can't give away enough stuff to give everybody something every month. So that's kind of an exaggeration, I thought, in the first place. But maybe he's means it. I don't know.
I think that's just going to cause him more stress, and that's I don't like.
And
I don't.
At
like
one
stress.
point, he said he didn't want a huge number of subscribers.
Well, sure, and I think he's genuine about that. I think he was looking to have a more intimate conversation with people, and in the live streams how he goes for long periods of time without looking at the chat because he's doing work. But if he's doing a membership only live stream, it can just be completely focused on interacting with the chat room. And he has tried receiving phone calls during live stream before, and that didn't work out very well. But
I personally think the opposite, Doug. I understand where y'all are coming from, but I personally think the opposite, that when he's on live stream with chat and stuff, I think he focuses more on chat than the actual work.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I can see where you're coming from. He does, and if you include chat as being his pontificating.
Well, he had
Pontificating and squirrel moments.
He had chocolate last night.
He does a lot of talking, and you're right. So I've seen people in chat saying, "Hey, get to work."
The funny part about that is that I cracked the whip with him once in chat, and that got me moderator status. That's funny to me.
Well, I did something about that once. I got barred for like 2 months.
You got barred?
Yeah. No, I didn't get barred. No. He was doing his thing where he was going, this way, that way, squirrel.
Yeah.
And I made a comment that he caught. He said, time to crack the whip. And he was like, he started laughing. He said, okay, yeah, that's moderator status.
Okay. And then Gary, you said you did something like that and you actually got banned?
Yep. For 2 months, I couldn't log on.
Wow.
I'm serious. 'Cause
Oh,
I
I
said
understand. Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
yeah, because I said I was actually watching the bill.
Yeah, and I would speculate that that speaks to the sense that I've observed in him, that some days he seems more. He can take a comment in a negative way, or he can take the same comment in a positive way, depending upon what state of mind he's in. And I think that just has to do with where he's at that point. And that's one of the things I love about watching him is you're getting pretty much the real Carey wherever he's at the time.
Well, Ken and I were talking last night about this.
Yeah.
On his thing, and my question, and actually Ken answered it. Just what you think. You think people will quit or slow down their donations?
Do I think they'll slow down their donations? That's a worthy question, but
I mean, not that you know any more than I do. But
what?
I said not that you know any more than we do. But
Yeah. Of course, I don't know what he's how he's going to react to it, but my gut intuition says no. If that was the only way to access his content, meaning if all of his live streams of his work were through the members channel, then I think that would slow down the donations. But when the members, when the membership thing is just an opportunity for people to support on a regular basis and have that more intimate live stream session that's probably just conversation, not really going to be teaching or working on computers, that those people I think are likely to continue donating in super chats in the regular streams, but you don't know. And that might actually bring some people into financial support of his channel who otherwise aren't doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball on that. I'm going to come back here and catch up with chat and see what people in chat room are saying on this. Jim runs DVR at 2 times to catch up. So I guess once you came into the Zoom session, Jim, that meant you were caught up.
That would be correct.
Yeah. Javi says electronics repair school started asking membership. You know what? That's a good one for us to go check, because he hasn't been doing it as long as that Mr. Beast has. So that might be more interesting to look at. Marco to Blackwatch, sure, bring Peroni. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to try to figure that out. Totally makes sense between the two. Ida, this is not going to work. He has too many contributors, viewers. Many will subscribe, and it's going to end up like 100 plus viewers anyway, not the 25, 30 that he wants. Okay, let me try to digest that. This is not going to work. So this meaning membership is not going to work. He has too many contributors, viewers. Many will subscribe, and it's going to end up like 100 plus viewers anyway, not the 25, 30 that he wants. I'm not sure why that would be, getting 100 viewers at $25 a month, why that would be a reason to say that it's not going to work. If it's what my mind frame, what I'm in my notes here, what I'm describing is that this would be a brand new type of content. It would not be moving his existing content into a private arena. This would be more kind of like, think of what's the what's the name of the thing that he does with Mike Smith? Tech tech.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
Tech
take
vets.
vets.
Yeah, think of it like tech vets between Carey and his membership viewers. Completely separate type of video content, taking no preparation whatsoever, and just visiting among supportive, a more supportive audience. Okay, so anyway, let's move on past. How did I scroll there? Okay, what about international viewers? Well, international viewers would work fine. There's absolutely no problem with international viewers as long as if he were to drop this idea of shipping things to members. That's the part that I'm really uncomfortable with. As far as I just think it'd cause them more stress. And so if that whole shipping thing was out of the question, international viewers can join membership. That would be easy. That was from the Bronx. And Ida, he could do private sessions and invite via email those he wants in each one. Well, that is true, and I've contemplating that. You can do a private live stream, and you have to make, you have to give, let's see, I'm sure I can show that pretty quickly. Famous last words. Let's do YouTube. You have to have the email address of the viewers, their YouTube account email address, and I'm working to get there to show this. It is on, here. So on everybody has a YouTube channel. Even if you never produce videos, you can click on your profile icon on the right side and go to YouTube Studio and get to your channel management page, even if you never create videos. And then come down to settings, and then come to community. And then in here you have moderators, and you have approved users, and you have hidden users, and you have blocked words. So you can add, let's see, approved users. I think you probably have to add them as moderators, but I haven't tested this yet. And, here, let's go here. I'm going to go to create and go live, and then let's see, schedule a new live stream. Let's say reuse settings, and then private. I think this is the place. And yes, I'm kind of stammering about here finding it. Let's see, everywhere. I think it's on next. And who can send messages, redirect, tailors, live chat. Here, private, share privately, invitees. So let's see. Who in the Zoom session is willing to tell me your YouTube email address and allow it to be seen? Anybody?
Me.
Okay. What is it, Alex?
It's the same email address that I've been sending you.
I don't know it off the top of my head. What is it? Just speak it.
AlexCheek97@gmail.com.
AlexCheek97@gmail.com. Sorry if that sounded cranky when I said just read it. AlexCheek97@gmail.com, and then notify via email, and then click done. So when if I were to finish creating this, that's going to send an email out to all of those people. But that means putting in all those email addresses. Now you could do a copy and paste, and that would make it quicker. Now that's a way to do a private live stream without doing memberships at all, if that was really the objective. If a person wanted to do that and financial support wasn't part of the objective. So like you could bring people into that based upon their financial support in other ways. Now in that way, you never get that join button on your YouTube videos. So then you got to deal with some way to promote or advertise that that's available. So that would be a way to do it. Now somebody, how did I get on that? I got on that because somebody in the chat said that. Yes, so that was Ida. He could do private sessions and invite via email those who he wants in each one. So that exactly is a way to do that. The Bronx to me says he is too highly strung, and I think different days we see more of that than other days, and I think it kind of varies depending upon how much he's got on his to-do list, and that's part of why I just don't like the idea about him giving away stuff, because that adds more stuff to his to-do list. Catherine, I would feel as if he tried to get rid of me. I would get so angry. He should make a Patreon on different levels of support, like Molly Burke. Well, I understand your feeling, Catherine, but I think you're taking on something there that you're making up. I don't think he can't be trying to get rid of anybody because he has no control over who joins. Alex?
Why would you do a private live stream and send emails like that versus doing an unlisted live stream? Because either way, you're gonna have to send emails out to everybody with a link.
Oh, the different people joining the session would not see the other people's emails. Is that what you're saying?
So what I mean is just like with the normal video upload, when you do a live stream, there's an option for unlisted and share privately. But when you do share privately, you have to put in the people's email addresses. Well,
Sure.
when you do unlisted, you have to send emails to people with the link, because otherwise they won't be able to find the video.
True.
What's the difference?
Okay. Good question. I have done private videos for my clients, my business clients, when I create a instructional video for them specifically about their software, for instance. And I've also done that unlisted. When I send it out unlisted, that means anyone who gets the link can go watch the video. As opposed to private, only the person that it's addressed to will be able to watch the video, and they have to be logged into YouTube at that time with that email address. Now that might
I understand that, but when it's a live video, either way, you're going to have to send an email out either privately or unlisted. If it's a live video, you're going to have to send an email out either way with the link, whether you do private or unlisted.
No, because YouTube will send the emails out for you. If you're doing a private, you put in those email addresses when you're creating the live stream, and you can be scheduling it ahead of time. And YouTube will send out the emails to those people, so you don't have to send them out to those people. You could choose to do that either way. I think if I were doing that type of a session, I would want to let YouTube send them out. And I'd have the list of emails that I want to send to, just copy them from one screen and paste them into that live stream creation session. But if you're doing unlisted, YouTube's not going to send them out. So you would have to send them out separately, and you would have to have the URL. You'd have to have the link to send them.
I guess my question is, what is the point of an unlisted live video then?
What is the point of an unlisted live video? Well, actually, I've seen Carey do that, I think, because I've seen where he started a live video, and I don't know this, I think he changed it to unlisted after it started, because I went back to his channel later and couldn't find it.
I think what you're talking about is when his sister was processing them, and he did not have it done to put it out to YouTube.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear some of your words.
Okay, sorry. Okay, you're doing a video right now, and when you're done, it'll be on YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
But if he does live, he's actually apologized like 3 or 4 days later because his sister was behind in getting it fully up to YouTube because he wanted to cut something out. Because if you notice, if he has 5 hours today,
right?
The video may only show up as 4 hours.
Yeah, so if they edit stuff out, then you lose the chat. When you watch the video later, you won't see this chat.
And I've noticed that. But you also got to re-upload it, so you might not do it for 2 days or 3 days.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I have edited some live streams when I've inadvertently exposed somebody's information. I've gone back and edited that. And it's very time consuming because what happens is you don't download it. Well, I guess you could download it and edit it and re-upload it, but then it's going to be a different URL. But if you edit the existing live stream, you're using a web-based YouTube tool to do that. And it's okay if you're editing a 30-minute or 1 hour video, but on a 3-hour video, it's really slow. I've seen it take like 24 hours to complete. So you go into an edit mode and it might take half an hour to an hour before it's ready for you to do any editing. And then you go move the playhead to the place you want to edit and try to find it. And it's very, very sluggish. And you're waiting minutes between clicks. And then when you finally get to a point where you've edited what you wanted to edit, you click a save button, and then it can take hours, or like I say, I've seen it take until the same time the next day before it's done. Very painful.
I'm not saying that's what you saw every time, but I know he was complaining about his sister, jokingly, of course, but saying that she was behind on editing.
She was behind on editing. Okay, so that makes total sense. Now my live streams, do I have that? No, I used to have it recording parallel, so it records on my local drive at the same time that it's storing on YouTube, and I turned that off when I started running into performance problems. I need a new computer. Unless I missed something.
Wow.
There. Let's go back and catch up. What was that wow for, Tim?
Oh, Chris Bolin just sent me a link to a crop duster, and her wings fell off right after he dusted a field. I'm like, wow.
Oh. Let's see. I'm trying to get back to where I was at in chat. Plastic and leaving, I think. Yeah, it's international viewers. Okay, well, yeah, Catherine, no, if he's stressed, he should not stream. I get stressed. Does that mean I should quit my business? No, you gotta manage stress, not quit because of stress.
I don't know about you, but I want to eat for a living.
Yeah, you gotta figure out how to manage stress, not quit. So no, I'm not gonna go along with you at all on that. Oh, this is interesting. Vladimir, I really like the content pre-2020. The stress and trolls have deteriorated the positive atmosphere and focus on sharing knowledge. The chat can get abusive too. It's generally emotionally taxing. I'm absolutely with you, Vladimir. Thank you. And people have made the comment about how I'm more tolerant of trolls and people saying mean things to me. And yeah, but I haven't been doing it for 13 years. And you know what? All of us are at a place, are who we are today because of what has happened to us during our lives. I've learned a lot of stress management techniques over the years, and stress is something that is a huge skill that I have, stress management. There's risk of losing money from people who give if feel left out. I suppose that's possible, but there's risk in doing anything. I have risk if I start the engine on my car. The fact that there's risk in trying something, I don't take that as a reason to not try the something if it has potential upside. I think there's significant potential upside, and I think the downside can be managed. Yeah, Tim just, I think, forwarded me the link to that crop duster thing. About to hit the road for LK Presents. LK Presents, I don't remember saying hi to you, so hello. And Ryan's here, hello to you. Make no mistake, good day. Nasty trolls on other channels targeting the creator personally. Yeah, they are really a problem. And in a private live stream with members, I think that would really help them get over that. I mean, he could actually talk specifically about some of the trolls. He can have that kind of open frankness, candid conversations, and I think the people in the membership live stream would be helping him get over it, get past it. Sorry if I would like a little rhyme with my greeting. Oh, that's chit chat, tech vets. How far back am I? I gotta start doing orange only, huh? Iowa Hawk, with only 1340 chubs, your channel is nowhere close to having a membership. You only have 45 viewers now for a live stream. You're right. I don't know why you felt the need to point that out, but yeah. Sorry meant identity theft to the tune of 5,000. What? I had a bad week. I was a victim of identity theft to the tune of 5. Oh my gosh. Sorry to hear about that. I hope you can recover, or get some things reversed or whatever. The Bronx 9, he's still going to have the same problem because he will have too many subscribers. Yeah, well, maybe not. I don't think you have a lock on the crystal ball. Same problem because you have too many subscribers. Well, he'll still have the trolls, but I think the private candid chats can really make that less.
But she doesn't have to have too many subscribers. Just stop at 50 or 60 or 40.
You mean in the membership?
Yeah, subscriber. Yeah, I mean, you could have 500 or 50, whatever he wants to stop at.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to limit the top end of memberships.
Not accept their, not accept their PayPal or something.
Oh, this is Jeff telling Iowa Hawk we're discussing Carey Holzman's channel. I guess maybe he thought Iowa was thinking we're talking about my channel. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're doing okay. Let's get down to orange. Oh, it skipped again on me. Okay. Why
does he want to do YouTube? Why can't, if he wants to have a membership, why can't he just do something like you're doing, except make his members pay for it with Zoom and all that?
Okay, you said, why does he want to do YouTube? Why not do what I'm doing with Zoom and make people pay for it? I'm doing YouTube. YouTube has a tremendous audience. If he goes to some other platform, he has to start building an audience from scratch. I'm not sure I followed. I'm sure you have a point there, Alex, but I'm not sure I followed it.
I mean, like put the recorded videos, the edited videos on YouTube, but whoever wants to pay for a subscription or whatever, have a live chat in Zoom similar to what you're doing, and just have the recorded just have the little edited or recorded videos on YouTube. I don't know if that makes sense, or if I just don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't see that would bring an advantage to him, because doing the live streams and just interacting with the chat, he doesn't get the interaction with Zoom. But in Studio B, we've seen that he has troubles with his bandwidth. He doesn't have a good wired internet connection.
Me and Tim were talking last night on Ken's thing about microwave technology, and how some ISPs provide that, like point-to-point connection. So depending on how far away his Studio A is from his Studio B,
Kind of like Integrity Networks, Doug.
Yeah, I understand that. I know that technology, but that's putting a bunch of money into that thing to do Zoom, and I don't think that's really his interest.
I don't think Carey wants to do Zoom at all.
No, I don't think he's interested in it at all. Well, he's okay doing the video chat thing with Tech Vets, and he came in. Did he come into Zoom on my channel?
he did, but it was on.
I went into his. Through that
With Tim's edit folder thing, he did come in, but he only called in on the phone. And
that's right. He called in on the phone, and he also had me on his channel with that streams. What was it called? Stream Studio? No, that StreamYard. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had me on his, but I don't sense. He made a comment yesterday about enjoying seeing the faces of people on my channel, but I don't think that's.
I don't think he would want to.
Something he'd want to do.
Oh God, no! That would probably overload him to no end.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that would achieve the objectives he's been.
And it depends how he takes your comments. I got into a discussion with him on a video he had posted, and I made a comment underneath the recorded video.
Yeah.
And it had to do with cloning drives. And he had done a particular thing, and I got interested and looked up the software's website, and they had said that there was an issue depending upon whether your solid state drive was inside or outside the machine, and the hard drive was the opposite, and that one way didn't always work well. I don't remember all the details now, and I asked him about that, and he seemed to take offense that I was criticizing the way he had set it up, and I didn't intend that at all. And after a couple back and forths on that, I decided simply to shut up because it was going no place.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to irritate him.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't understand what the text are saying.
Yeah, the texts are really easy to miss.
And what he said was that, did you not understand how I was doing it? And that wasn't my intent at all. So I just ended up letting it go. Now, I wasn't posting under my real name at that point. I had another alias on Google at that time, and maybe he thought I was trolling him, which I wasn't. But
I've seen a lot of comments on my videos of people. They'll make a comment, and I can easily see how that could be taken as an attack on what I said or a disagreement with what I said. But then I because of my life training and dealing with stress, I realized that it just might be my perspective, and I talked myself through a different story. And I realized that that person was just triggering what my presentation made them think of, and they're telling me what they did in a certain situation. That doesn't necessarily mean argumentative, but it's really easy for anybody to take, particularly a typed comment, as being argumentative or disagreeing when it wasn't intended that way. And that's exactly what you were describing a from Jeff, from what I can tell.
Well, and that's one reason I got rid of my alias and decided to post comments under my real name. I figure if I'm using my real name, people are less likely to take a random comment as being argumentative.
Yeah. And
unless I'm being a real jackass or something, you know.
And I've had a case.
You see Will Smith or
say again, Gary? I didn't understand that, Gary.
I don't think that was Gary.
Oh, all right. So anyway, I've had times when I will reply to somebody's comment on one of my videos, not intending to be argumentative or intending to communicate something, and they reply with something that tells me they totally read it wrong in a way that I didn't intend or mean whatsoever. And so I actually do resist responding to a lot of comments because they're so often misinterpreted, misunderstood, and it's safer for me to not say anything. So that is something that's a big part of textual communications. I have clients who will ask me a question by email. Sometimes I will not respond to that by email. I will call them because text can be so easily misinterpreted, misread, and unintended meanings read into it, unintended tone of voice, unintended facial expressions read into it. And I say, how did you get that? Let me get caught up here. Speedy C. Not everyone can pay that amount for membership. I've been a follower for a while, but I'm not so keen on this idea. Well, Speedy C, what I'm hoping that Carey would do would be a new and additional form of content, different. It wouldn't reduce anything else that he's doing. So everything that you're already enjoying, you should be able to continue with. And a membership isn't intended to be for everybody, and it's also not intended to diminish the significance of the people who participate that can't afford to pay. It's okay to not be able to afford to pay. There's lots of restaurants in my town that I can't afford to eat at. I'm not going to try to tell them they should close their business because I can't afford to eat there. I'm trying to do just orange, but I just can't pass by. Catherine, you are a legend. Agreed. Your reputation can't be bought. No one can slap a badge to their name and command the respect that you do. Absolutely. Delighted to see that kind of...
The most expensive restaurant we went to was with one of my dad's former workplaces. They paid for everybody to eat, and the total bill ended up being something like $700 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it ended up being about $60, $70, $80 a person.
All right, you want to hear a personally revealing, embarrassing story from my past? Nobody says yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there it was. When I was.
Do you want me to tell it?
Do I want you to tell it? No, thank you. I will mute you very quickly if you try to do that. I was newly married, probably just weeks after we finished our honeymoon. I think we went to visit a couple friend in San Francisco. They had an apartment there, and I was going to be the big spender and foot the bill for dinner out at a restaurant. When that bill came, it was so high, my credit card did not have a high enough balance, and I had to borrow money from them to...
$200 a pop.
Oh, I don't know what the number was. I'm guessing it was probably around $300 or $400 for 4 people, which these days isn't probably that big of a deal or that big of a surprise in San Francisco at a nice restaurant. But
Or you could eat Japanese beef.
I was not prepared. Say again, Gary?
Two things: Japanese beef,
Jap-
expensive.
Yeah, well, I think it was a teppanyaki.
Not cheap either.
Right.
Today that'd be about $400 a plate.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know what the number was, but it shocked me.
So
So,
when I was first married, $300 or $400 bill would have been a lot of money.
oh yeah, oh it was a lot of money.
And do not order if you do not know the price, and there's no price on the menu.
Yeah, yeah.
If there's no price on the menu, I can't afford it.
Exactly. Same
Okay.
here.
So getting back to it here, Catherine is saying don't quit, but take a break in regards to Carey's stress. But again, I prefer being able to continue with the work, but just be able to manage the stress. Carey's going to lose a lot of viewers with that fee. I don't understand how he could lose viewers of his current normal content. Why? How would somebody refuse to watch one of his Friday live streams with Mitch because he has a membership that the person can't afford to? How does the existence of a membership cause somebody to not want to watch his content? I don't understand that logic. If there are people out there who have that type of just revolt type of reaction, I think they probably have more troubles in their life than is worth talking about.
I think many people assume that he's going to cut way back on his free content.
I don't see that. I don't.
And he said that if you didn't purchase a membership and just kept on watching like you have been, you probably wouldn't notice the difference.
I would think so.
That's what he said. Now, it might affect the number of free streams a little bit, depending on how much other work he's got. But his intent is not to do memberships to the exclusion of the free content.
Well, my take on that is if this would work the way that I would hope it would work, where he doesn't do any preparation, doesn't do the giveaways, just has an enjoyable visit with the members. He could do that anywhere from 1 to 4 times a month for an hour or two, and I think it would refresh him to the extent that he'd probably wind up doing more videos, more public videos. That's what I'd ideally like to see. Spambot at 118. Well, let's go look at Spambots because
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. I don't see it.
All right, so I'm going up to 118. Let's see, 118 from Chris, from Blackwatch, Frankie B. Watches Great and Cold. Yeah, I don't see a Spambot there.
Won't let me go past 157.
118. Do we have a? Oh, it could be 218. If they're in a different time zone, they might be. Yeah, here it is. Doris Taylor. It's 218 for our time, Tim, because whoever was saying it was 118. Oh, it's B.A. Tringer. Oh yeah,
I see it.
He caught it 1 minute after. Yeah, so he's
I see it.
He's in a different time zone. So for him, it's showing as 118. So I'm going to take that off screen and view the deleted message to see what it is. Oh, no biggie.
Sorry.
Anyone else who's blue, they could view that, but yeah, it's a spam bot. It's I'm going to show it because it's not vulgar as far as I know. It looks like they're trying to promote a website address, vasf.tech. Now, because it's a top-level domain name of TECH, that's highly suspect. Anytime you see a it's not a .com, not a .gov, or whatever the common one's on, you get a weird top-level domain name like that.
Good catch.
It's a bad one. Yeah, so good catch. B.A. Tringer, so let's go deal with that more severely and hide that user on the channel. So that should take out, this says this user's messages will be hidden. And when I've checked up on this, it takes out everything from Doris Taylor. It comments on my videos anywhere else, it would take them out. Catherine says StreamYard is the correct name. And moving on to Orange. Why does this keep jumping like that? Ryan says you should have taken them to Denny's or McDonald's. Yeah, I would have impressed them with that. Oh, here's another one. Emily Palmer. Emily Palmer. So I'm taking that off screen, viewing the deleted message, same thing. So now they'll, typically we've seen that multiples will come time after time. So hide user on this channel, and I hope I got the right one. I did that.
FYI.
I did that right, didn't I? Yeah, unhide. All right. Time out. So good work, BH Ringer. And thanks for letting me know, because I do want to be involved and actually hide them when that happens. So if I hide them from the channel quickly enough, whoever's doing this, they're probably doing this over and over with different accounts that they have, and they find they're not gaining any ground with it because somebody who's in blue is hiding the comment, and then I hide them from the channel. They just should give up and move on. Another at 229. So yeah, that's what I did. So, and BH Ringer's doing the perfect thing. I asked for you to let me know. Freezing issues caused by anything. Do all system app updates. That was responding to somebody. There's a Doris Taylor again. Rick Lates. Oh, I'm at the bottom. I caught up. Wow. Ryan Full, I said it before, I love Denny's, wish we had Canada or something like them. Doris Taylor, Emily Palmer's, or Blackwatch's cyber concubines. And somebody else coming in to Zoom. Who do we got here? Look there, it's Sam Lazar. Hi Sam, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good.
So we probably, maybe we talked enough about the Carey Holzman membership thing. No, there was one thing I wanted to do. That somebody mentioned a channel that is new to membership. And I said,
Some type of computer repair place.
Oh yeah, the computer repair place. What was it called? I'm going to do a Control F and type repair. There it is, Electronics Repair School.
Isn't that in Carey's town?
No, I don't think so. I think he's in the UK.
Oh.
So let's go search for Electronics Repair Channel. I am a subscriber, so let's just go take this video and I'll pause it. And here's join. So we're seeing here that I am subscribed with notifications, enjoy his content a lot. And then click on join, because he probably has more substance to his membership. It says $4.99 a month. Recurring payment, cancel anytime. The things they give is, he gives us loyalty badges next to your name and comments and live chat, custom emoji to use in comments and live chat, and tip. I guess you can tip more, and your channel name, and let's see, can I scroll that up better? Move that.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the badges. What that says down at the bottom that you can't see very well because of my CPU statistics, your channel name and member status may be publicly visible and shared by the channel with third parties to provide perks. Now, I've seen some other channels that have lots of different goodies that they give. I'm not a big fan of the goodies. I think it should just be a way for people to stand up more and support the channel. But then that's my opinion. And everything that I've said today, what I think Carey ought to do, it's all my opinion. He'll do as he chooses, of course, and it's part of, you know, somebody said in chat earlier, if you line up 1,000 people, they will all have different opinion on any subject. Doesn't mean we can't be friends. Jim, are you preparing to show us something there?
No.
Oh.
I'm working on a project. This is a case review, and I was about 3/4 of the way through it when you were coming live, and I was like, "Well, it's a good time to pause. I have a couple of more shots to do.
All right.
And I got to do the intro and the outro."
He's working on his beast.
No. No, I'm sorry. Have you looked at the subscriber count on my channel?
On your
Have you
channel?
looked-
Oh,
Have you looked at it? Let's put it this way. It's not even, I think, 1/10 of what Carey has. Okay, so I'm not pulling in any money.
all right. Well,
You do have some good stuff on there.
I have stuff that interests me more than anything else.
yeah.
Like, example, I was looking for another case for another board I have laying around with an older CPU and whatnot. And I figured, as much as I say that I don't like RGB, well, there's RGB control on this motherboard, so I thought I'd try to find something. You know?
Hi.
All right. Oh, what's going?
Yeah, but the video won't be ready for a few days. Again, I have to do the intro, I have to do the outro, and I have to do a final shot. So
Editing.
Oh, okay. Now I got my thoughts back together. So here, so that completed my Carey Holzman list. Now this is my tech topics list of things that I've been working with, dealing with lately. So I thought I'd read through these and see if these trigger any interest for more description. A client of mine is renewing their cyber risk insurance. They started getting this, it's a law office. They started getting cyber risk insurance few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. And each time we have to do a renewal, which I think is a couple years apart, they have a questionnaire that we have to fill out. Well, this time the questionnaire is requiring that we have multiple factor authentication for users who access their computers remotely, users who access their email or can access their email remotely through a web interface. And we don't have those implemented across the office. So
That's a good thing.
I told them that
Yep.
we have to up your game. We have to fix these things in order for you to get this insurance, because now it's required. Previously, the questionnaire just asked the question, but it wasn't required. So we just answered no. And they went ahead and issued the policy. And I told my client, if we don't do what they're asking for in these non-required areas, they'll probably issue the policy, but it's probably going to cost you more than if we were compliant in these areas. On the point about multiple factor authentication, which of course could be two-factor, these areas, they are requiring. If we don't do these, they won't give you the insurance. So they told me, do whatever you got to do to get it. We have to have the insurance.
We had a major problem at work and had to create a whole nother Wi-Fi network. Somebody's Android phone uploaded a virus to our server. So we had to get rid of the Wi-Fi altogether and create a whole separate Wi-Fi just for the employees to use.
Right.
And not be connected to our server.
That's an important thing to do. Anytime you have the potential of a hacking concern, and of course this whole cyber risk insurance for the companies that want that, the requirements I expect are going to get tighter and tighter. Now this law office, I have plans, and I've dropped hints at them so far. I have plans that our next growth phase for them is going to be putting in a higher end server, Active Directory, Windows 11 Pro on all their computers, joining the domain. And because a lot of their computers aren't capable of Windows 11, I'm figuring, well, this is a convenient time. We're just going to start replacing computers with Windows 11, new computers, Windows 11 Pro. And once we have the server in, we'll join them to the domain. There'll be two-factor authentication and all that, because with as much interest that government is showing in shutting down ransomware operations, it's the Secret Service that's the big lead on this for the United States, and they're really going after the ransomware actors in the sense of actually get what do you say, taking possession of their cryptocurrency accounts. And that's some really high level stuff to be able to do that and shut those folks down. But the ones that they're going after by necessity, by definition, are going to be the high ticket items. So I think the ransomware actors out there are going to be targeting smaller companies, smaller institutions that aren't going to get the attention
They already have.
of the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
actually, this law office that I'm talking about right now, they did get hit with ransomware.
Well,
And it was years ago. It was it was my very first awareness that ransomware was a thing. I didn't even know
Wow.
it was a thing back
How
then.
long ago was that?
Oh, many, many years.
10, 15, 20 years?
Say again.
How many years ago was it? Like 10, 20 years ago?
It's back then it was probably 35 users. And we caught it before the encryption was complete. We had backups, but because the person in their office who was responsible for swapping the backup drives and checking to be sure they were still working, they dropped the ball and weren't doing it.
Oops.
So the encrypted files, files that had been encrypted, our restore for them was a few weeks old. So they lost a significant amount of data. So it was very painful for them.
They lost 2 weeks worth of work.
Yeah, they lost not 2 weeks worth of work. They lost 2 weeks worth of the files that had gotten encrypted, because there was a lot of current work that had not gotten encrypted yet. We discovered the problem happening, and we immediately shut down the affected computer, and the infection had not spread to other computers to do the encrypting work. So this one workstation was doing the work of encrypting the files. And when we shut it down, that stopped the encryption in place. Now the ransomware software creator apparently had not yet learned. Do the encryption first and then put the notice up on the screen. They notified us of the ransomware before they finished the encryption.
Oh.
So,
Oops.
yeah, it was early in my education for ransomware, and it was early in the ransomware threat actors' experience. Now, here's part of the reason you know this was early. When I tell you the amount of money they wanted to unencrypt, you ready for this?
250?
Say again?
250?
500.
I'm hearing 500 and I'm hearing 250.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thousand?
It was around 700,
Oh, okay.
which
Adam,
by today's standards is just laughable.
That's yeah.
Peanuts, you know.
10,000.
So let me go catch up with chat.
Oh, Doug, I've got a question for you about your multi-factor authentication you might do.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think about requiring hardware keys for the multi-factor authentication for somebody like a law office where they have sensitive information on their server?
Yeah, for the workstations in the office.
Well, for somebody logging in remotely, say.
Yeah.
I've seen keys that are like a flash drive that you
Right.
can stick in.
Yeah, a dongle. We do that at work on one computer.
I had a client doing that 15 years ago. I was the local support for one of their branch offices, so I wasn't involved in implementing the keys, but they had security keys for their sales staff so that they, when they're out on the road dealing with customers of this multinational company, they would use these security keys. For this particular client, I think that would be a nightmare because I don't think the people are security disciplined enough to keep track of those keys well enough. They'd be at some place where they need to use it and not they lost track of the key. So I think physical security keys plus password, is a terrifically secure thing to do. It's more expensive, and by my impression, I haven't really looked into it. And I think it's more difficult to implement when you're dealing with people who are not accustomed to working in a secure environment. This office is one of the very typical small business environments where people know each other's passwords. People might walk up to somebody else's computer and start using it. There is no security between people. There's actually no secured folders. The executives don't even have secured folders for private content. They don't have a need for it. They don't feel a need for it. There's a small handful of exceptions, or I've implemented ways for them to have secret content, but easily subvertible by anybody who is knowledgeable enough. None of my clients have anyone who's knowledgeable enough, with a small number of exceptions.
Sounds like they'd be pretty vulnerable to somebody just walking in the office or calling on a phone.
Oh, hugely vulnerable. And we're going to have to up our game. We're going to have to start implementing more, because I think offices of the size of this business are going to become targets. If the bad guys can't go after the big targets because they're afraid of being caught by the authorities, then they're going to go to the smaller targets.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the phrase social engineering a minute ago.
Right. Yeah, these I have many of my clients who send me emails once in a while, or take a picture with their phone. They ask me, is this legit? They are getting more and more educated. I am educating my clients more and more about these things. Now, one that came to me yesterday, was just amazing. I got to show you this. This is just amazingly legitimate in appearance. Here we go. Is it this one? No, it's this one. I'm going to scroll this to a point where, or maybe do some blurring. Did I put it into my folder for tracking this stuff? It's Microsoft. Where is it? Let me do it this way. Search for his email address. There's no can't work. How is it gone? That was yesterday, December 10th. How can it be gone? Am I gonna be reduced to just describing it to you?
Possibly.
All right, so I'll do that. It was from Network Solutions. We received an email from Network Solutions.
Oh man, I hate that name.
Yeah, I hate that company. Ugh.
God.
It was the first place in the world to get a custom domain name. I got my custom domain from them a couple decades ago. But they just have not kept up with the times. So this office has one email domain name that's still with Network Solutions. We have another one that's hosted by Microsoft, and that's their new business name, their new company name. But the old timers in the business want to keep their old email addresses, so we still have that. He received an email that claims to be from Network Solutions. It looked totally legitimate, absolutely legitimate that it came from Network Solutions. The return address with Network Solutions, all the little detail in the bottom of the text message. It looks like legal blurb stuff, and it explains that we need for you to verify your email address so we know that this is received to you, because when we change our servers, this is required to have everyone verify this. Now, I just said that in a very non-professional sounding verbiage. It was perfect verbiage. It was perfect grammar. It was perfect spelling. Looked beautiful. I forwarded it to myself, and well, actually, I signed on to his email account and floated my mouse over the rectangle button to click on to verify the address, and then look down at the URL, and it was not Network Solutions. So then can I do this? Then I looked at it closer, not Network Solutions. I went into, is this a safe URL? One of those websites that checks to see if it's safe. I tried that on a couple different sites, and they had nothing bad to report about it. They said it looks legit to us. Or first time we've seen this, we'll check on it. I still didn't accept that. Still didn't believe it, because it's not Network Solutions. I went to MX Toolbox to look up, use the who is and MX lookup to see some detailed information. Could not find anything incriminating there. So then I took that really long URL that had all the specific data. I opened up in private browsing, whatever we call that, incognito, and I did just the domain address, not all of the extra clutter that's at the end, because all that extra clutter probably identifies my client to them. So I went to the website, and it was all in Russian. It was all in Russian. So then I took another approach to see what was that going to actually show up, and if he had clicked on it, what it takes him to is a perfect duplication of the webmail login screen for his Network Solutions webmail account. Wow. But the URL in the address is not Network Solutions, and it's not his domain. It was one of those two other domain names that actually had United States registrations. There was a registrar that made it look like it was United States, but I think it was because of one of those in private. When you have your URL registration, your domain registration, you can say you want your real identity to be private, and so people can't look up significantly helpful information about them. So anyway, it was a perfect duplication of the login screen. So obviously what they wanted is for him to click on that and type in his email password. And once he did that, game over as far as them getting into whatever's in his account at that time. And if he had typed in his password, likely he never would have thought anything of it. But this client in particular, because he's on Network Solutions, he sends me probably once or twice a month a question, is this legitimate? And once in a while, whatever he's asking about is legitimate, but I tell him, go to the website through your normal method. Don't do it by clicking on there, because even if I determine that is legitimate, I don't want him to learn that it's okay to click on links in emails. Don't do that. Go to the Amazon website or whatever the vendor is. Go to their website, your usual method. Don't click on the link in the email. Now, sometimes it's okay if you know what you're doing. You look at the URL and it's very clearly legit, I still feel okay about it because I've never yet found that there is a way to spoof a URL in the bottom left corner of your screen to be something other than legit. It could look similar, like accounts-amazon.com. Don't trust that. If it's accounts, what would I say? / Amazon.com or at Amazon.com, as long as it's truly Amazon.com, that would be okay. But any other word in front of Amazon or after Amazon, anything that makes it a domain name that is not Amazon.com, don't trust it. So it's significant to train people to not click on links in emails at all unless they really know it. Let me go catch up on chat. Speedy C is the next one that had me in orange. He says, thanks for reading my comment. I enjoy Carey's content. And there's another one of those skips. I think it skips when I'm getting close to the bottom. Electronics Repair School do not live stream. I have seen him do live streams. It's not very often, but I've seen him do it. Am I going to really go over here and prove it? Electronics Repair School and videos. I know I've seen him live stream. He doesn't do it often. And let's see, if I go search live, will that get me there easily? Yeah, here it is, live stream. That one right there, Power Supply Basics live stream 4 years ago. I don't know if these others are live streams or not. He doesn't do it often, but I have seen it. Not that I don't want to be argumentative, but he normally doesn't. Blackwatch, there are now 50 in here. I'm about out of coffee and bagels. I see 54 and 42 likes. I see a spinning circle of death on my iMac.
It is good here.
You're good? I don't know if that ever cleared up.
It's been spinning the whole time. I've been watching it in the background.
All right. So I'll
because I can see it behind your head, but you can't see it.
You can see the back of my head?
I mean, I can see your computer on here.
I know.
I'm like, why is that still spinning? But the video on this side is good.
All right, good. Oh, I just did a refresh on the Mac. It's okay now. Let's see. Let's come back here. Yeah, so it says now 54 concurrent viewers, 42 likes. Thank you, everybody. And 248 playbacks. Explain that to me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy. Reverse with the DVR.
Yeah, I know. When you reverse on the DVR and when Jim played catch up, I think all that counts as a playback. But 248 of them, that just I suppose any individual could rewind a little bit on occasion to go question what was that. And that might have those numbers go up. I think it's great. So then going on to the next orange, Catherine, good, so they should. And unfortunately, I don't know what that was back at 2:42. What would she have, almost 20 minutes ago. Sorry, Catherine, I know I've been neglecting chat for a while, so I'm not sure what you're responding to there. Sam, YBI keys. What are you referring to there, Sam?
That stuff I asked you about, I think hardware keys.
Oh, yeah, must be. Well, he's here in the Zoom session, so.
Yeah, UB keys. I spelled it wrong, but UB keys. It's like those USB keys when you connect to a computer or authenticate.
Got it. Catherine, that might be a good idea. So maybe something I responded to was met with her liking. And then here at the bottom, Ken Stout is racing home to catch this screen, so do not end it soon. I don't know. I think if he's getting home soon, maybe we end it about 10 or 15 minutes from now, just out of spite.
Doug?
Yeah.
I got a quick question for you.
Go.
Because I know absolutely nothing about it. Do you know anything about Skylink?
About Skylink?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Starlink.
yeah. My brothers and I were just talking about that last night on
I
our.
watch them go by all the time.
Oh, you actually watch the satellites that are?
Yeah, I can look to the northwest. Every once in a while I can catch them. It looks like a train going through. First time I saw it, I was confused. I was like a UFO or something because I'll see a light and then another one and then another one and then another one in the same place. And later
Wow.
discovered it was Skylink going by.
I didn't think the Skylink satellites would be big enough to see.
The satellite
like-
was supposed to be 2 feet.
It looks like a little tiny dot.
Well, the space station looks like a little tiny dot.
Yeah, it looks like that, but you keep seeing it repeat over and over and over.
All right. So it's
So they have multiple-
not long enough for it to go around the globe. So you're seeing that same dot in the sky in the same place.
In the same place, and it's like a broken record, but it's
Yeah.
more than one link going by.
But now I had assumed, and I haven't looked into it. I guess we need to describe what it is for people who don't know. But I thought that they would be synchronous orbits, so you wouldn't actually be able to see motion. Are you saying that they are actually?
No, they're supposed to be sitting at one place all night.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They would stay static from our point of view. Okay, so Skylink is Elon Musk's Starlink. I'm sorry, Starlink.
SpaceX.
Yeah,
Gary, that's what you're asking about, right? Starlink, not
Right.
Skylink.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. I think Skylink is from a sci-fi show or something. Starlink is Elon Musk. He's got like 1,000 satellites up, and the intention is to provide internet service via those satellites, so that anybody that's in areas that doesn't have good internet coverage by virtue of other internet service providers will be able to use Starlink for their internet service. Now, I don't know how much more beyond that, Gary, that you were looking. I don't know the state of it. I don't think it's available to subscribe to yet. I would expect at the beginning of its availability, it'll probably be pretty expensive. But just one moment. I think it'd be more expensive than other services, but very justifiable for people who don't have internet service. So whoever was trying to speak up there, go ahead.
Yep. So with Starlink, I know in some parts of the US and Australia, you can get Starlink already. And I've seen videos on it on YouTube. So I've put in the YouTube, live stream chat link to a channel with a guy talking about Starlink. If you're interested.
Okay, so you've seen it in use by retail
Other than
customers.
YouTube.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. I didn't know that.
And also in Australia, so parts of Victoria, where I am, the state of Victoria, you can get Starlink.
parts of Africa too, I believe,
Oh, all right.
because they don't have no internet there.
All right. Well, let's go take a look at the state of their website. Here's
His
orders.
website says they aren't using stationary orbit.
Yeah, they
All right, are not using stationary orbit.
They're only 550 kilometers up, and the geostationary orbits are like 35,000 kilometers.
Oh, okay.
And he says he wants them lower so he's got less latency on the signal.
mhm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty cool.
that must mean that the devices can switch pretty quickly from one satellite to another.
So I guess, Tim, if what you might be saying, they may have several of them in a single orbit,
Yeah, they'll
in the
have
same orbit.
they'll have like 20 or 50 of them, but you
Right.
can't see them all at one time. You just see one light come through, and
Yeah.
then another, and then another,
That makes
then
sense.
another.
If you're seeing them in the same spot, that sort of indicates that they're in the same orbit, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I would deduce that the technology that he's using, the way he's created it, is they probably hand off their communications from one to another as they're moving, rather than making your land-based device attached to a different satellite. The satellites could hand off the whole group of devices that they're currently communicating with
Possibly.
to make it more efficient. I would think that would be more efficient. So here's what their website says. Order Starlink. Starlink provides high-speed, low-latency broadband internet across the globe within each coverage area. Orders are fulfilled on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, my brother Stan, in our Zoom session last night, he's having a lot of difficulty with his internet service through Verizon, and he happened to be at that point parked in a shopping center, so he connected to the public Wi-Fi for McDonald's, and there was another one nearby, and it turned out the McDonald's one was really good. So you got good service that way. So here, high speed, low latency. Yeah,
So
using advanced satellites, low orbit, Starlink enables video calls, online gaming, streaming, other high data rates that historically have not been possible with satellite internet. Users can expect to see download speeds between 100 megabits per second and 200 megabits per second, latency as low as 20. Cool.
So if you have the ISS detector app on your phone,
I
you
do.
can also track the Skylink and see when to see it in the
Oh, with
sky,
that. All right.
which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Preserving the night sky. Engineered by SpaceX.
Yep.
All right. Want to be part of the Starlink team? View open positions. So they're hiring. Who?
Alex Yardis
Alex.
try to get on that.
Yeah, Alex. Weren't you the one looking for a job currently?
And he's also looking for internet.
Yeah, I've been looking for a job since April and no luck. Every job I've tried to apply for has either not gotten back with me or denied me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So why don't you go check out this Starlink? I know we'd all like to have somebody on the inside with them.
I had a tour of their facility when they were still here in California making rockets.
Well,
and their machine shop is so clean you could eat off the floor.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard
I
that.
couldn't believe it.
I've heard that.
I mean, they really take care of their stuff.
Yeah. So let's
The
go.
question I have is that if you work for them, do they give you free service
I'm
or discounted service?
I'll bet
Sorry.
it's a yes. I'd put
Jim
money.
Jim Pratt's niece was an intern at SpaceX.
Right.
That was really cool.
So here I'm gonna put in an order now and see what happens. Please include an address or plus code. An address or plus code. Okay.
Plus code must be for another country.
Yeah.
Yeah, like +1.
+61 Australia.
Yeah. So I'm going to put in an address. This is not my address, but an address that I know is a valid address. And
Is it nearby?
but wait a minute, that's not valid. It's not in Clovis. That's a Fresno address.
Oops.
That's weird. Why did it do that?
With the exercise, does it really matter?
It probably got you from your IP
No,
address.
they don't. I'm not going to go through it with it, but I just want to see how much does it cost.
Well, I heard it's like $400 initial for the equipment, one-time fee for the equipment, and it's $100 a month
That's not
for
too
the actual
bad.
service.
All right. So it's not accepting my address. Or plus, oh, I guess. So I got to put in a valid, find a zip code that I have a valid plus for. That it's referring to
93727.
93727. And what's the 4 digits?
Use Tim's address instead.
Oh, here. No, I got one. I see one in front of me on my desk. 937260317. That's the full zip code for my shipping. Includes an address plus. All right, 4974 North Fresno Street. Is that enough? Please include an address or a plus code. It says or a plus code. It is the 4 digits after a zip code. Is that what's known as a plus code? I'm not sure if that's what's known as a plus code. So what is a plus code? Plus codes,
Plus
Google
61
Maps.
plus a 1, maybe plus 61 or +1 or something like that. Country code.
I'm not so sure. This looks different. How do I
I was
find?
off by $100. The service is actually, the equipment is actually $500 instead of $400, and then $99 a month for the service.
Where'd you get that at?
The
That's still not
Starlink
bad.
website, I just put in my
On your
address.
Android phone or tablet, open Google Maps mobile web. Open Google Maps.
Alex said he just put it in his website, or in their website.
Well, I'd like to put it on the video. That doesn't,
Oh, sorry.
that doesn't quite get me where I want to get. So I'm going to just pick a random location in town.
$100 a month. That's still not bad.
Let's see, find the location you want to get a plus code. At the bottom, tap drop pin. Looking for drop pin.
Yeah, Tim, with taxes and fees, I'm paying Cox almost $100 a month right now.
Trap the
But I've heard
drop.
that you don't have to use their router. You can connect your own links to connect your router straight to their service. But the one downside that I've heard to them is that they do natting on their side, so you don't have direct access to a public IP address like you do on cable or DSL connection or fiber.
Oh,
So that means your outside IP address that you would see if you looked at your setup would be like a 10 dot or 192 dot whatever number, and not a public outside IP address. So no port forwarding for games or anything like that, or websites or anything like that using that service.
Interesting.
No, but if you're someplace where you got no internet at all, that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, like Africa or whatever.
Or parts of Australia.
I think in the beginning he was wanting to make it free to everyone, but that changed.
Billionaires don't get to be billionaires by giving stuff away.
yeah, but he has a history of not pursuing money, and then later he realizes he can't do that.
He also thought Bitcoin was going to be the business money.
I'm distracted with trying to find this thing because I want to see it myself and I want to put it on the
Check
video.
my address in Starlink.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, it's an Australian address, so. But let me just. I'm checking my address in Melbourne.
You're checking your
and,
address. I want an address I can put into this video. It doesn't help me for you to check your address on your computer.
No, I said I can order it if I want.
You what?
It says I can order it in Starlink, with my address if I want in Melbourne.
Okay, fine. That's not what I'm after. I'm trying to show it I'm trying to record it on the video.
Yeah, sure.
So that's not
I'll
helping me.
give a slight different address, not mine. I'll give one nearby.
Now, you're going to give me an address to use?
Yep.
Well,
Australian.
actually, you're giving me an address that's not in my area either, though.
Yeah.
How about use our clubhouse address, Doug?
Well, it's not a question of a discrete address to use. It's I put in addresses already and it rejected it. It isn't accepting what I'm putting in. So here's an example of a plus code. Okay, so there's this link here, right in here where it says can't find your address, try a plus code with city. So when I click on
Hey,
that,
Doug,
what?
how about I put the link to our website in the chat, and you just go to that, and you just go to my website, because our address is on our website, so I don't care if you use it.
Well, okay, that doesn't, I'm not putting content into the video that somebody else could use for their own address though, if I do that. Let me follow this through, please, okay? Find and share. So this is the instructions that's on the website itself. So anybody watching this video could go do this to find out how much it would cost for them, because it might be different at different places around the code. Why would they be wanting an address or a plus code if it's not different in different places? Of course, maybe it's not available. So if I click on this plus code link here, find and share a location using plus codes. Here's the instructions for an Android. Here's the instructions for a computer. Here's the instructions for an iPhone or iPad. So I'm going to click on computer so I can try to show this through. On your computer, open Google Maps. I'll click on that and that opens up in a new tab. So I have opened Google Maps. At the top in the search bar, enter the plus code. To search a town or city you're not currently in, enter a plus code with a town or city name, for example. At the top, enter the plus code. They're not telling, how do they not tell me how to find the plus code?
I don't think you need it, Doug. No, the reason I say is I put it in without it and it worked fine.
But I did too, and it didn't work.
Shit.
So, what information did you put in, Gary?
An address. It's one of my properties that I own.
Well, I did that. I showed that in this video, a couple different addresses, and it kept rejecting it. So
probably you actually don't have it there.
Let me finish this. Let me go through with this. You guys are driving me nuts. Keep trying to pull me a different direction. Let me follow it through the way that their website walks us through this.
Doug, you need your Ahmed voice. Silence! I kill you!
Or I just mute everybody that's in Zoom right now. I'm getting close. Let me finish this, please. Find and share a locations plus code. Click the location where you need a plus code. At the bottom in the info box, click coordinates. A panel will open on your screen. To copy the location's code, click the plus code. That sounds really usable. Okay, click the location where you need a plus code, and then at the bottom in the info box. So here, I'm going to pick a random location. There, in the location box. I guess this is the location box. Do I click the latitude, longitude coordinates? They didn't say that. In the info box, click the coordinates. Okay. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. Click the coordinates. So here's the coordinates. Gives me the coordinates. Now then, oh, here it is. This is it. That's the plus code. However whatever that means, you know what? I have seen one thing of this before. So at the bottom in the info box, click the coordinates. I did that. A panel will open. That happened. To copy location, click the plus code. Got it. So whoops, wrong one. Over here, click the plus code. This thing right here is for copy plus code. Bingo, bada boom. Then go back to Starlink. Come in here. Control V.
I would have never known that.
Oh, there's a plus code. Plus it includes Fresno, California, and USA, and then order now. All right.
Why would they make this so bloody obscure?
Well, I think I can answer that, and I think I could defend it. This whole plus code thing, I came across this recently when I was trying to help a client of mine locate the map coordinates for his cabin. You guys have seen the cabin if you saw my company retreat, the cabin up at Huntington. And when I was pursuing that, I did come across this code that has to do with locating things in the various different mapping capabilities on mobile devices or computers. So anyway, here, so hardware $499, service $99 a month, shipping and handling $50. That is totally doable.
I pay more than that for my service now.
That is totally affordable for somebody who can't get good service. My brother Stan, I wouldn't be surprised to see him eventually go for that. He's not quite desperate enough yet, but he could get there. He's not he has a YouTube channel and he produces videos, but not very often, and he doesn't really care about it. It's not really his mission.
I wonder how reliable it is.
I don't know. Based upon the satellites, I think it could be very reliable because what was the altitude of those satellites?
550
550
kilometers.
550 what?
Kilometers.
Kilometers. All
It's
right.
like 30 miles up, I think. roughly 30 miles up.
550 kilometers, something like that. And let's see here,
Yeah.
550, I could change this drop down to miles. 341 miles. Yeah, well, that's farther than the nearest cell tower.
Yeah.
But still, it's line of sight, and a lot of that is without atmosphere. So
For the Americans, a kilometer is 5/8 of a mile.
kilometers 5/8 of a mile.
The more colloquial expression is
Okay.
a kilometer is 6/10 of a mile.
All right. So asked and answered. I think that's attractive, and it is available. And now, is it available for someone who's traveling? They want a location code. Does that mean my brother can travel around the country and still be okay? You would think so, but if he's just buying for this location, maybe Starlink isn't equipped to handle hardware, like you're ordering hardware. If this hardware is hard coded for that location, is it gonna work being mobile across the country? I don't know.
Interesting.
I've seen videos of what, even though the hardware is supposedly programmed to your specific location, specific to your area, there is a certain, supposedly is a certain amount of miles you can travel away from your specific address and still be able to get service.
How about
But you have to be
6,000 miles?
stationary.
Yeah, the service gives you a free beanie cap with a metal propeller to home in on you.
But you have to be stationary for the service to work. You can't be driving around and using the service.
While you're mobile. That makes sense. It'd be harder for them to keep the link if you're actually traveling. And these blurbs in here: high speed, low latency, easy to set up. But this one, ideal for rural and remote communities. They don't say ideal for travel.
You know what's ironic about that? They say ideal for remote and rural communities, but guess what? There is no remote jobs, or that would be a good option for me, Doug.
Oh, wait a minute. Say that again.
They have no remote jobs.
Oh, you already saw that they don't have remote jobs?
None of their jobs say remote. Every single one of them is in places where I don't live.
Oh,
And the closest jobs they have is in Texas.
well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, they moved everything to Texas from California.
Well, they still got some in California, but they got some in Texas now too.
Yeah. Employment
Ooh.
types. All these employment types are full-time, job titles, locations.
Avionics system. Oh, cool.
I was looking under information technology that
Yeah. Now, these are openings for all those locations. That kind of implies that you have to be on site, but the way things go these days, is it possible that you can actually be attached to and have a job attached to a particular site but still work remotely? Does this necessarily exclude the possibility of remote work?
I don't know 100%. I'm just assuming that since they got a specific location next to all them jobs, that it wouldn't be
Wow,
remote, and if they had a remote job, it would say remote there instead of a specific location.
Yeah, but they don't have a column to specify that. So looking at these titles, is there something here that we can identify as that one should work remote? It should be able to work remotely. So software engineer, principal network architect. So it's hard to know what any of these do. Principal satellite engineer. I'm going to click into that one just to see more about it. Principal satellite engineers, responsibility, qualifications, additional requirements, travel to vendor sites may be required.
That's a no for
that's
me.
But it does show that this is not tied to an office job, an office existence. So that satellite.
What about software engineer?
Software engineer. All right.
Oh, right there.
Redmond. Responsibilities, qualifications, skills, additional. Willing to work extended hours, weekends as needed. Conforms, equal opportunity employer.
Now we're certainly covering all the buzzwords.
Yeah, that's right. Email.
Better all than none.
Discipline, start.
I hate corporatees.
Graduate.
I love it. I write it.
You write it. Oh my gosh. How to use a professional, basic.
Well, he probably also reads all the user agreements. For all
Okay,
the
so
software.
here's are within a commutable distance or willing to relocate. You answer yes or no. So if you say no, does that put you out? Now there's an asterisk here. Let's go look at what are the asterisks.
Probably at the bottom.
Of course, they're at the bottom.
The
Where else
asterisks
would they be?
usually mean that the question is required, and you can't submit without answering it.
Yeah, that's probably what it means. Is just that you can't submit without. But I would say the fact that they even
Have someone open.
even have that as a question, that on jobs where that is okay with them, that you work remotely, then answering no there would be okay. But you don't know. It's a pain in the butt to fill out applications when you don't know if a particular application is tolerant of remote workers. So I'm going to try on this page Control F and type the word remote. Does not occur. Let's see, what other kind of terms do we have for remote workers? Long distance, there's longer term software architecture, belong to categories, no.
How about distance?
Telecommute. I don't know if I spelled it right. What was that last one, Gary?
Distance.
Distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the question that we were on. But I you might be in a more challenging environment. Well, we know you're in a challenging environment to find jobs, so you could explore through there more, Alex. But I'd encourage you, don't assume because you would create a column here indicating remote workers okay, that they would too, unless we do find it. Position type, full-time, temporary, intern. That says nothing about location. Then these locations, you know, it certainly doesn't make them appear to be open to remote workers to not have something in here. But
If they don't get workers on site, they may have remote workers.
I've seen there's some jobs out there that will put on the application site, you know, they'll put remote work, but then they'll put in the job description that you must be willing to come on site for like meetings or something like that.
right. Well, but that's not a legislated thing. So just because this company doesn't promote that, I'd be reluctant to say that they can provide it. But it's a long shot. I would agree, but you're in the job search, so it takes work to track things down. But I would just encourage you, don't make assumptions based upon the way you would like to have seen them design that.
If they don't get somebody for on site, they may take off site.
Off-site.
Meaning another word to search.
Well, no, I'm saying if they don't get somebody to take an on-site position, they may change it to an off-site position.
Oh yeah, and that word doesn't appear there, but yeah. So
Doug won't work from here. Let him work from home.
let me come back to catch up with chat because I've been away for a long time. Let's see there's lit. So I'm looking for oranges, Starlink videos on this at this link. Catherine, but because you do not read chat often, you often forget what you talked about, and then you do not understand my comment. Yeah, I know. I've been negligent recently. Sorry. Greg, what is the speed? 25 megabits, that low? No, it was 100 to 200 megabits. That's a good speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he asked that question before we saw that. BH Ringer, local musician friend of mine, is doing live stream now using Starlink. Wow, how about that?
Cool.
That's awesome. Let's take a quick peek at that.
Yeah, let's everybody go there at once.
Yeah, 171 watching now. This is a live stream.
Oh, wow. Using Starlink. Cool.
He's live streaming using Starlink, although I see the refresh thing going around and around. Oh, there's a play button. Go back a little bit. All right. So I'm not
Good quality video.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're slowing down a little bit, but 171 watching.
Cool.
16,000 views. Holy.
Oh, on a live stream that's going on now.
That is crazy. Through
Yeah.
I
Starlink.
dropped this.
18.9 thousand subscribers. So that was BH Ringer's local musician friend. Yeah, and he said he was doing live stream now. All right. Vladimir.
I've seen these guys.
Vladimir says, you're right about giveaways. Carries giveaways to financially deprived individuals, I'll say. Yeah. Okay.
All of a sudden, we're in West Side Story. I'm depraved because I'm deprived.
Sorry, Vladimir. We don't mean to make you feel bad about that, but the word would be deprived, not depraved. It's a different meaning. I'm going to guess that Vladimir may not be native English. So that's okay. We're good humor. Don't worry about it. Carries giveaways to financially deprived individuals and veterans sometimes backfired. People were mostly ungrateful. Oh, okay. Yeah, there was some of that because he did say that some of them didn't even bother with a thank you.
Yeah,
And
the PC.
say again.
On the PCs, you gave away and nobody thanked him, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I don't know that nobody did, but it was very few that did.
yeah,
Okay.
and enough to be discouraging. And when he switched to the loyal fans like Rick Lates, most refused to take the computers. This frustrated him as well. Frankly, I'd like to get away from so much giveaways. I don't think they're needed.
Wow.
He doesn't need to pay people to like him. He doesn't need to pay people to watch his content. He has good content. Now, I have been questioned in the past about. I don't seem to disagree much with Carey. I disagree with things with him as a technician, but he does great content and great work. I respect him and admire him. When we disagree, he and I talked about this. We can agree and still disagree and still be friends. So anyway, moving on. NORAD now uses Starlink to track Santa for your information. Blackwatch, bravo. I finally good humor. But
And clean.
does Starlink do as good for tracking Santa as the previous service? Okay. Greg Guy, I'm paying $599.99 per month for 400 down, 50 up from Atlantic Broadband. Now, is he trying to compare the value with Starlink? I mean, Atlantic Broadband, it's not a satellite service, right? So you can't be comparing that. If you got good services available, you're going to pay less. Did you see the other links? Let's get on to the orange. It skipped again on me here. Catherine, check if you added a space by mistake. Maybe that's when I was trying to put in my address. And I don't think that was the case. I don't think I had the true plus code. Or he starts his own business. For Alex, maybe is she referring to? It takes work. It's a nightmare to find a job as a disabled person. I agree. Catherine, you are really funny. Not. All right. I don't claim to be funny, or I just am me. Take it or leave it.
I'm kind of interested in this Starlink.
Yeah.
We're already paying the same amount of months now.
All right. Do you want to hear my next topic?
Sure.
My next tech topic on my list of things that we could talk about. I had a new Dell laptop. There was the Dell laptop that I used to demonstrate a variety of different ways to set up Windows 11 with a local user account. When I went to the next phase with that laptop to get it ready for my client, what I found out is after it installs Windows updates, it got a blue screen after every time it would reboot. And I redid it a few times. Brand new Dell laptop. I would restore it to factory, the factory image, and I would initialize Windows 11 with a Microsoft account and without a Microsoft account. I tried a few different variations, and every time after doing the first round of Windows updates, it would reboot to a blue screen. And I tried all the repair options. None of them worked. The only thing I could do is restore to factory state again. I talked to my client about it, saying I could call Dell and try to work through it. But my previous attempts at calling Dell, I'd been on hold for like a couple hours before I got to a live person, and then maybe having to get escalated to somebody else, because you always start with somebody who's reading from a script and is not really a technician. And so by the time they realize that you got to go on to somebody else, and after they've made you go through their basic steps that you've already done yourself, and you tell them you've already done it, they still make you go through it because they're not willing to let go of you and escalate you because it's a bad mark on them if they can't handle the issue. So it's a nightmare. So anyway, my client wound up deciding to send it back to Dell. Coincidentally, the part for his DC charging port arrived early. I made a video of replacing it, but I don't think I've published that yet. So that
I
came
don't remember
early.
seeing it.
Yeah, I don't think I've published it yet. So I've got several that are waiting to be published. So he decided to take his old laptop back. He's going to return the new one and order another new Dell laptop.
Wow.
So that was a recent experience.
Hey, Doug,
Yes.
have you seen that before?
I have had troubles before with new Dell computers fresh out of the box, but it's been a long time.
I mean, even with Windows 11, because I know you've done a couple for your brothers.
Yeah, they had no problems. And this Dell laptop that's sitting right here next to me right now, it has Windows 11. It has all the updates installed, and it's going fine. I'm using it to rework my my checklist, my in-lab checklist for initializing Dell laptops. And somebody commented, I think it was Ida that put in a comment about it, because I did publish a video that showed me not figuring out where to turn off the task view. And I was stuck on thinking of it as desktop, the multiple different desktops that you could have. I wanted to turn off that icon. Well, my handicap was I was thinking of it as the multiple desktop icon, but it's actually called task view, and it's easy to turn off. And I've found the solutions for all the things. I haven't finished going through my checklist, but I'm finding the answers pretty easily. Continuing back on chat, because I haven't done a good job at catching up. Did I? Or did I? Oh, I did catch up. Blackwatch, I have said nothing today. Tim Sowell has hacked my account again. Tim.
I didn't
Bad
do it.
boy, bad.
Tim, oh, you're slapping yourself. No, I'm saying, Tim, well done. Well done, Tim.
Give him a raise.
Going
School's
back.
paying off, I guess.
What?
I guess school's paying off.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you're in a master's program for, what is it?
Cybersecurity.
Cybersecurity. Yeah, awesome. So good.
Doug, do any of your clients use Lenovo laptops?
Yes.
Oh, I love those at work.
Yes. As a matter of fact, this client that had the new laptop and the charge port problem, he previously has had Lenovo, but I do have Lenovo's, and I think I have recently looked at Lenovo's offerings, and I was just attracted to Dell's sales during the Black Friday season. Now, why do you ask?
Well, I've had Dells and HP laptops, and I've never had a Lenovo, so I'm just curious about them.
Yeah. Also, I've had experience with clients on Toshiba's and Acer. What else? Probably
My laptop recommendations in no particular order are usually Acer, Asus, Dell, and Lenovo.
All right.
Well, my parents and my clients use Lenovo. A lot of my clients and parents, and they love it.
Yeah.
I love the little mini Novos that we got at work.
Mini Lenovo's.
The little mini desktops.
Okay.
mini PC,
Oh, you mean the micro PCs that can be mounted on the back of a monitor. Yeah, I've done that. I've done those with Dells and Lenovo's. And
They come with a terabyte solid state hard drive in them.
yeah, with Dell, you can order them with different sizes. So I don't know if Lenovo gives you your choice.
I don't know.
This law office that I'm going through the cyber risk insurance with, I said that we're gonna start replacing their existing Windows 10 computers with Windows 11, and they have during this last year, a lot of them in the office now are using 2 monitors, and so I'm thinking we're probably going to start using those microcomputers mounted on the back, because their tower computers and their desktop computers, they're just taking a lot of space, and there's no point to them anymore. They never need They never need, well, yeah, once in a while, actually, they do need DVD drives because they get medical reports on DVD for personal injury
Yep.
cases. So I should talk with them about that. It might
External DVD drive.
say
It's like
again.
a whole bunch of
Yeah,
a whole bunch of external DVD or Blu-ray drives.
Yeah, we could do that. In fact, I do have one of the microcomputers on one of their users, and we did attach an external DVD drive to it. And I've also seen, I think, a mounting cage that goes on the back of the monitor where you can put the microcomputer in, and then there's another bracket on that cage for installing an external DVD drive. But
Still
that's
not-
kind of a nuisance to reach around the back and load it. I think it's a whole lot easier to have
Put
a
it on the
DVD
desk.
drive on
But
the
he's still not
desktop.
taking up a bunch of space.
Right. So that may be workable. Sam, if you don't mind, are you able to share your checklist, the checklist for Windows 10 11? Yes. I'll bring that up.
I'll share in an email or link to the file or something.
Yeah, we could do both ways. I said it was quite a while back, I set up a Google Drive folder for the channel as a convenient way to make
Yeah,
files
share that.
available. We could do that. Rick Lates, I'm hoping to buy a Dell laptop one day when I can afford one. Well, there's very inexpensive even Dell laptops available through Amazon as manufacturer refurbished. I mean, you can get down in the neighborhood of a couple $100 that are very decent, if that's of interest to you. Dell tried to charge hidden fee. Okay, so we're caught up there on chat. I'll take a quick look here. Here's just a quick view of my checklist. I call it new and refurbished computer setup lab work, and I have a revised date. I haven't revised the revised date for a while. So, and these go through a number of items, and what I do is I'll do a select all and then insert table, right click, insert columns to the left, then Control A, Control C to copy all of that, and then I'll go into OneNote and paste it. And that lets me, in OneNote, I can type notes about these different things for that particular computer. And then I come back here and Control Z, whoops, well, that's going to undo all of that. I undo this table in the Microsoft Word document. I want to keep the Microsoft Word document without the table because it's really difficult to make changes to this list when I have that table there. So anyway, I'm going through this now to revise it in light of Windows 11. So after that's done, if I forget, just ask me again to provide a link to that shared Google folder, and you're welcome to it. Okay, next on my list. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
How long have we been? Oh, we're almost 3 hours.
Whatever you say, Carey.
What?
Whatever you say, Carey. 3 hours.
Financial Office Active Directory transition. So I think I've talked about this before. I have a financial services office. If you have any awareness of financial services, that's probably not what you think. They administer retirement accounts for large companies. They don't actually handle the money, but they administer the money and where it's stored and how it's extracted, and it's a pretty big their clients are pretty high end, but it's a small office, 5 people in the office. So there's recent legislation in the US Congress that's expected to be passed soon that's going to put additional security restrictions on their industry. currently they don't fall under FINRA regulations. FINRA, Mike Smith deals a lot with FINRA for financial institutions that have people's financial information. I was surprised to find out that this company doesn't fall into that, but they're about to. And so they up till recent times, they had a Windows 2016 server, but we were treating it as a work group. We did not have Active Directory implemented. So now, because this is expected to be coming, and because the owner of this business is very concerned about ransomware, he's fully on board with spending the money to make the to come within compliance before it's required. So we've turned on Active Directory. We've migrated all the users to Active Directory. All of the Windows 10 computers except one already had Windows 10 Pro. So we joined them to the domain. We went through creating all of the policies in Active Directory to lock down the machines. The users no longer have a domain
administrative rights.
They do have local administrator rights on their local computers. We did provide that. Now I'm using two advisors on this. Mike Smith is one. Mike Smith, he's the tech vets with Carey. So we're actually paying him for his consultancy work on this. And big reason is because he has a lot of experience with doing the written policies. And then the other person that's working with us on this is a close connection to my client, and he is the web host and the domain host for my client's domain, and he's very experienced with Active Directory. So I worked with him on setting that up. I don't have a lot of experience in Active Directory, but I have some now. I did do some training in the past, and I have
Active Directory can get really confusing.
Yeah, it's a different environment if you haven't been in it. But anyway, so this is something that I'm working on, involved with it at this point in doing. And we're going to be using part of the requirements is for monitoring and logs. So we're going to have somebody's going to come up with the right word I'm looking for. Not pfSense, but another, not firewall. What's the word I'm looking for? They're not coming up with it, are they? Tim, you got to know it. You're going through. For monitoring the network activity, the network gateway.
Network log files.
Network log, yeah, but it's actually a separate hardware device.
A sniffer.
Not a sniffer, more than that.
Something like Splunk, where it logs, what's on the network.
I'm sorry, that was all mumbled. I couldn't understand.
Oh, sorry. There's a Linux application called Splunk, which scans the network and creates log files or something like that.
Well, something like that. Well, pfSense. Do you know what pfSense is?
Not really.
Okay. Well, it's a hardware device that goes between your internet modem and your network router, and it captures all the traffic.
Yeah.
And so whatever.
They make hardware devices, Doug.
Yeah.
But you can also install that on just any old normal older PC as long as it's powerful enough to run it.
Yes.
That's what we had set up at college.
Yes, and this other advisor is doing that. So he is actually providing a hardware device, and he is actually in the internet services business. So this is something he routinely does with his clients. And yes, it is. It's not going to be a purchased pre-manufactured
It's open source, I
device.
think.
Say again, Gary?
It's open source, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I didn't have to use my ISP's modem, that's what I would be using here. But because of the way our setup is, I'm forced to use our ISP's.
All
It's
right.
like SolarWinds. It's a firewall. It's also.
Firewall, yeah. Now there's also there's hardware firewall devices, and of course the Windows Server has a firewall in the operating system. We did a bunch of configurations with that, so I'm learning through this process. I haven't been through. This is outside the bounds of my normal client, but I'm really happy for the opportunity to be going through this because I think I need to bring some more of my clients up to speed with this. And I think this is going to become a more and more important thing moving forward.
It's going to be required.
Oh yeah. I think it's going to be more and more required and more and more essential as the criminals look more and more to do their dastardly deeds on smaller businesses.
That's their main targets right now.
Okay, so here's another item on my list of topics to talk about because I think it's interesting. I've mentioned a few times that me and my brothers, we do a Friday evening Zoom session. You've met my brother Tom and my brother Stan. By you, I mean if you've seen those videos. I don't think you've seen my brother Bob. My brother Bob is a couple years younger than me. And in the Zoom sessions, both he and Stan are usually internet challenged. Stan, until recently, we replaced his laptop, and that was we've got videos of that, and actually maybe another one or two to come out with that. So that's going to help him for his computer and for his editing of videos. But his Zoom problem seems to be mostly his internet speed when he's out on the road. So that's an issue still going on. But I want to talk here about my brother Bob. My brother Bob is in his home in Clovis, which is a next door town to Fresno. And he's regularly has Zoom issues. Well, he's working off of a cell phone, and it's an expensive Android cell phone. I think he said like $1,200 or $1,300. So it shouldn't be the cell phone. His service provider, his cellular service provider, we accept that as probably a bottleneck, but he's attaching to his home's Wi-Fi and seems to have good service, but he's continually having problems. So what I'm going to do with him, and I only thought of that this morning, is I bought a couple. I came across an inexpensive Chromebook from, I think it's Dell, or is it HP? I'm not sure. But I just wanted to, it's HP. I wanted to experiment with these in relation to the 2 apartment buildings that need the computers for games and such, and I tried to install the Chrome operating system on those computers, and that just had hurdle after hurdle. So I wanted to get these Chromebooks because they're so cheap, and I have quite a while before I need to return them, if I choose to return them. And I want to see how are they supposed to work. So I'm going to try those out. And then I thought, okay, I'll loan it to my brother Bob and have him go into Zoom with the Chromebook and see how that works. So that's just, I guess the only point I'm there is, for me, it was kind of thinking outside the box for troubleshooting to try to resolve his Zoom issue. And if that resolves his Zoom issue, I think he'll buy this laptop, this Chromebook, because he has a full desk setup. He works remotely for his company. His company has provided him a nice computer, full set computer, but he's not allowed to use it for personal uses. So he can't do the Zoom session with us on that computer. And it has a VPN connection to the company. So even if he tried to use it, he'd be busted right away.
You think?
They monitor his traffic. And he has no other reason to have a computer, so he doesn't.
Is he using Zoom primarily from home?
Yeah. He's always at home.
I've got $100 Android phone that worked Zoom quite well over our Wi-Fi.
Mm.
Yeah, well, we haven't figured out whether the problem is his phone or his Wi-Fi connection or his internet service in the home, but we have checked out each of those components individually, and they all check out.
That's weird.
He should have better service. So by substituting equipment,
Yep.
this is a troubleshooting technique.
Yep.
By trying something other than his phone. Okay, the last one on my list, and I can't believe I actually went through this whole list. And what is it? 3 hours, 3 minutes.
Has he tried? Have you tried uninstalling and reinstalling the Zoom
Yes.
on all those devices as well?
Yes. Yes, we have. We've had him shut down all the other apps on the phone. We've had him do a fresh restart of the phone. We've had him use different places in the house. We've tried it on his cellular service and on his Wi-Fi internet, and have found nothing to give consistent results. We have had times when we coincidentally find something that seems to work for a period of time. So he'll stick with that for a period of time. Now, it's kind of like the old thing where a basketball player scores a winning shot when he's wearing a certain pair of socks. So he always wears that pair of socks. Meaning, there's been times when he comes up, when he realizes that it seems that if he doesn't talk, he doesn't lose connection.
What model Android does he have?
I don't know.
Phone.
I don't remember. Also, he, let's see, another one would turn off his video so that he's not broadcasting his video. And sometimes that seemed to help, but not consistently. Let's go catch up with chat before we get my last thing. Blackwatch wants his $2 back. I'm sorry, was somebody?
I use a $200 Android phone that can actually do more than my mom's $1,200 Android phone can.
Yeah, I don't think the price of the phone really makes the difference. The price of the phones have to do with the camera and other stuff. Blackwatch, does that insurance policy for your client have a Blackwatch exclusion clause? Oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't, all of this multi-factor and all that, that's not going to do any good for keeping him out. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh, this stand backwards for gnats. When was this? What? That he uses that. Stan uses his name backwards for gnats for something. I think it's a part of one of his passwords. I shouldn't be saying that on YouTube, should I?
No. Except that's probably not what it really is.
Well, and that's not all of it. That's not all of it. You know, it's more than that. But I think that was somewhere in his repertoire. I don't remember what. Catherine Anna Hauserman says, and if he uses another channel on the router. Yeah, on the Wi-Fi router, I contemplated that. He's in kind of a, he's in a neighborhood that is kind of, it's a residential neighborhood, but all the houses are very old, long time ago built, have kind of a significant amount of space between the houses. I don't recall what he said about seeing other Wi-Fi signals. And did we actually get a new router? We looked at, we talked about getting his AT&T router replaced. I think it's AT&T. But yeah, absolutely, Catherine, that is another thing to look at, is just another Wi-Fi channel on the router. Now, I know that I have not talked him through making that change. I have not gone over to make that change. And I might do that when I deliver the...
Is he on 2-wire or fiber optics?
I'm suspecting it's not fiber optics there.
So he's 2-wired. That's probably the problem right there. Older neighborhood, they're not up to date on that stuff.
Yeah, but with nothing else in the home, we've even had his wife shut down her phone, turn it off, and power down the television. So there's nothing else using the internet connection there. And I think we got decent speed tests, but I don't remember that. Then Sam says, my phone was $1,500 Australian dollars, I think that is, but I managed to get it new with 2 years warranty in store for $200. Wow. Was $1,500, I guess he's saying $1,500 retail? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, it was, at the time it was 1,500. Then it was on sale for 700, the half price. But if I got a new phone plan, I managed to get it for 200.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Supports USB-C to the Ethernet. Catherine, another router altogether. Yeah, it seems to me that I talked to him about another router. I don't remember if that's happened or not yet, but absolutely valid idea, valid strategy to do. Oh, I finished my subjects. We're 3 hours. Does anybody else have a hot topic you want to bring up, or are we ready to end this thing?
I do have a small question.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I noticed in one of the videos recently, you were using Fabs Auto Backup.
Yeah.
I think that you had a check mark for network printers. It also copies that information over as well.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have saved me a little trouble with my wife's laptop, the new one.
Yeah.
Because she has this weird setup at work, and I'm not sure exactly how it works, but the printer had to be set up by the internal IT people. And when she got the new laptop, I got everything over for her. She only had 2 issues. And one of them was the network printer. Probably if I had copied it over with the Fabs Auto, that probably would have copied that over and I wouldn't have had any problems with that.
Yeah.
I happened to notice it in passing. It was like, and it was very quick. You were scrolling through the things that it was going to copy over or make a copy of or whatever it was. And network printer caught my eye. It was like maybe half a second.
Yeah. Now it might not be doing what you would hope for. I haven't had occasion to test the network printers from one profile to another, but there is, when you do the restore, there's 3 documents that are put on the desktop. One of them is called printers. And when you double click on that to open it, it's just giving you a listing of the printers that were previously installed. So to what level does it actually install printer drivers? I don't know that. I don't know that it has the capability to actually install any software. So installing a printer driver is an installation. The Fabs Auto Backup does a great job of copying a lot of profile information. So QuickBooks for the new profile will typically already be activated. The Microsoft Outlook will already be configured. When you do the restore, it automatically reconfigures your email. All of your settings and preferences and software that records settings in the user profile.
Nice.
Are restored. All of the cloud services, if you have any cloud storage on the old computer, it'll restore the state of that cloud service. So when you sign in to the cloud service on the new profile, it'll then just have to synchronize. It won't have to download everything.
Wow.
So that can.
Yeah, I did just a brute force copy of a lot of stuff on her machine because I didn't have anything else, and it's worked for me mostly in the past. But like I said, the printer was the one thing, and the other thing is that for some reason I can copy over every single thing that's involved with Mozilla Firefox over to a new machine, and Firefox will light up immediately, and all the passwords and everything else will be there. I have yet to have that success with Google Chrome. For some reason, I can't find a location where those passwords are hidden So I have to literally do an export from her old machine and then do an
Right.
import to the new one. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so Fabs does this for not only Google Chrome and Edge, but several other browsers that I think Opera's in there. I can't list
Right.
all the browser names. I don't use them, but it looks like it
Oh.
does an impressive amount of things.
Rick Legs wants to see the T-shirt. Give me a second, guys. Hang on.
Sometimes I meet people and feel bad for their dog. Oh,
Hey, Jim.
Yo.
I've had a pain in the butt with Chrome myself. I actually think it's off-site because when you come on the sync, that's when it seems they're coming back for me.
She doesn't have a Google account and she doesn't do the sync.
Okay.
She doesn't do it. She doesn't do any of that.
so
That's
Yet
why I might bring it back.
I can find every folder that Firefox uses in the app data locations and the program files, I can manually copy that, brute force copy it all over to a new machine. Double click on the icon on the desktop. Firefox is up. All the passwords are there. No problem. Google Chrome is a pain in my ass.
I can do Edge also, but I can't do Google.
I mentioned.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was that finished? I was gonna.
Yeah, it's finished.
Okay.
Going off on a rant.
Okay, well, I was going to go back to those 3 documents that Fabs Auto Backup puts on your desktop when you restore. It's the printers, and then it's also applications. So it gives a list of all the applications that were installed under the old profile. So that gives you a convenient way to realize what other programs you need to install. And then there's one other, and I think it even restored drive mappings. But there's a 3rd document of things that are listed, and I'm not remembering what that one was. But anyway, I found it really useful. I would like for it to be able to accomplish more. But it's a really good tool. I like it.
I'm done.
Do they have a working demo of that at all?
Well, you're free, but it's free for personal use.
Okay.
How much?
I'll have to look at it. I've never looked at it. I've heard of it, but I've never looked at it.
Yeah, you can use
I've
it.
got
You can use it forever for free. There are some limitations.
Here
And
we go.
the one limitation that I know off the top of my head is if you have a computer that has multiple users, multiple profiles, you can't do the backup and restore of all of them in one move. You have to do them individually.
Yeah, that's never going to be an issue for
That's
me.
not a big deal.
Same here.
Not a big deal.
I've got a question with this backup software. If you reinstall Windows, can you restore from a backup? Let's say you wipe your laptop and install Windows again.
I'm having a hard time understanding. It's because of your microphone. Your microphone is not very good.
Let me hold a sec. Select the microphone. All right. So with this software, if I, let's say, reinstall Windows, am I able to restore from a backup? Or do they have to be 2 separate machines?
Okay. With Fabs Auto Backup.
Correct, yes.
Okay, it does not restore the Windows operating system, but you can do a backup of the user profile using Fabs Auto Backup from one computer and restore it to another computer. It will create the user profile if it doesn't already exist with its passwords. You can do the backup on a computer of the user profile and then restore that user profile to that computer with a different username.
Yeah. So like a reinstallation.
Yeah.
So let's say I want to reinstall Windows 10 on my laptop. Can I restore from the backup?
If you want to reinstall Windows 10, yeah. So you could use Fabs Auto Backup to back up the profile, reinstall Windows 10 on your computer, and then restore the profile from the Fabs backup. Absolutely, yes.
Great, excellent. That's what I should have used a few days ago.
Yeah. And it's free, no guilt, free. You're
Excellent.
not bending any rules to use it free.
I should check this out.
That's going to come in handy because I have to redo my gaming machine, and I'm really
Aye.
not looking forward to have to do all of that manually. That's going
Yeah.
to be a pain.
Well, hey, let me tell you something that I have in mind. Zavi Manor is, I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but he told me that he's done a lot of image backup from one computer and then restore it to another computer. And it works for him. I've always shied away from that, but
Yeah.
when I'm really tempted when I get to the point where I replace this streaming computer, I'm going to try that because the idea of being able to restore an image to a new computer and not have to reinstall my programs, I want to try that.
Me and you've talked about that before. That'd be cool to see that in action.
Yeah, I think you asked me about it some time back, and I said no, can't do it. It won't work. You gotta.
But somebody's doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it, and I want to try it. And then also Alex with the SysPrep. That's another approach to take with the same thing. What I was thinking, I don't know if I'm willing to take the time to do it when I get to that day or week. Take a while to try it with the creating an image and then restore the full image. That would be the easiest way. If that doesn't work out to my satisfaction, then the next thing I'm interested in trying is the SysPrep, which removes a lot of the specifics of your hardware, creates an image, and then install that on the new computer. Because this computer is software-wise, it's okay. I don't feel I need a fresh install, but it just is not hardware capable.
So Doug, on the Fabs Auto Backup, I go to their website and I see the Pro version and the Home and Office version.
Same.
Which do you download, and do you just set up the trial one and stay with it, or?
Well, let's go bring that up on screen and see. Fabs Auto Backup, let's see, is it FPNet? Yeah, it is. .fr.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that before. I don't know the significance of FR is France, isn't it?
Yep.
Think so, yeah.
All right, so then 2 versions, Auto Backup 7 Pro, Home and Office. That's starting from Euro. All right. Must have for computer repair shops, backup, restore, direct transfer from old slave or USB mounted hard drive to the new computer, files and settings from several users' profiles at once. This version can run from rescue environments like WinPE, can run under Windows systems. So that does give more of the difference. USBs and mounted hard drives, things like that. Home and Office designed for individuals. This is perfect for simple backups. Yeah, it'd be this one, clearly. The Pro, the only reason you'd want to do the Pro trial version is if you're needing these extra capabilities of, let's see, this isn't a very good, obviously the Home and Office version can back up and restore. I don't think the Home and Office version can do the direct transfer.
No, I guess my question was, the Home and Office one has got a trial edition.
Oh.
Is that the one that you download, or is there a separate free version someplace on the website?
Oh, I see. Good question. Let's go poke around a little bit and look. I'm going to go back to that first page. Tutorial useful links.
I mean, the Home and Office isn't expensive. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
yeah. Auto Backup 6, Auto Backup 7. This is a good feature comparison chart. Not sold anymore. Not sold anymore. Really? version 6. That was a long time ago,
Aye.
I think. Compare versions, auto backup, home and office, present trial version, updates and logs, buy it, screenshots. Am I wrong that is it no longer free?
I'm not seeing anything that would indicate that it is free in any form.
Oh, notify me updates. So
I mean, 10 euros isn't a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
how much is that in dollars?
Is that $5?
Yeah, something like 12, maybe 13, something like that.
Yeah.
EURE USD. Not USB. Can you let me quickly do the conversion for you guys? It's $11.32
Yeah.
US.
I mean, if
Yeah.
they'll accept a credit card, I mean, it'll do the conversion for you when you do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 15 Australian dollars.
Now, if the trial version is fully functional, that basically makes it free because for personal use, how often do you need it? You're probably just doing a one-time deal. So that makes it functionally free if the trial version does everything and doesn't have any limitations. So let's see, where was it?
Well, let me ask you a question here. Are you running this more than once? I mean, besides the profile, is it saving other stuff like your data files and all of that?
Yes, yeah, it takes all your data files that are part of the profile. So that means your documents folder, your pictures
Okay.
folder, your videos, everything that is.
So this is something that you would need to rerun on occasion. I mean, as you add stuff into your data files.
Oh, if you're wanting to use it as a backup, yes.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. From what I'm looking at, the trial version is limited to 10 files in each of the various locations.
Okay. So that just shows that it functions.
Yes, it says like users, Windows desktop, 10 files max, documents, 10 files max, my pictures, 10 files max. So it's not what I would be considered fully functional.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but it isn't a lot of money, so.
No, it's not.
No, and it saves you a lot of time. So
Yeah, I'm doing something similar except for the profile stuff, but with some Xcopy command files I wrote. And
oh yeah. Batch
my
files.
email and my documents folder, all that stuff, I just run the batch file every day and it copies over anything that's new.
All right. Now, if you are interested in buying Fabs Auto Backup, and if you are aware of or a fan of Mike Smith, you should go use his link because he gets credit for that.
Okay.
He's got Fabs on there.
Yeah, it's on
yeah,
his
my-
site. I'm not sure which one it's on, if it's on TechVets or if it's
Cool.
MikeNation.net. I can't remember which one it's on.
Yeah, I can find it.
Yeah, TechVets is not actually a website, right? It's just
It's a channel.
the name. Well, it's not even a channel. It's because Carey posts those on his channel.
Yeah.
They're
I
just-
remember Carey saying one time, though, that if you buy something through there, they split whatever little
Well,
That
that
hasn't
royalty or
been,
whatever.
that hasn't been for a while.
Yeah,
they
that's-
stopped that.
that ended when Carey started doing the live streams on Amazon. I'm deducing
Oh, okay.
that they had to separate that because Mike now has his own Amazon link. So here's Mike's website, MikeNation.net, and so all this stuff down here is connected with his most recent show. He does a show on Thursdays. Now he is a scripted show, contrasting to Carey and myself. He scripts his shows, but very good, very informative. And then, so here's Fabs Auto Backup 7 Pro link. So if you click on that link, then he gets credit for that purchase. Now I'm just going to click on it and see if it takes us to anything different than what we've been looking at.
They'll show you a cheaper price.
Now that link is, but he's that link is it for Fabs Auto Backup 7 Pro and not for the home and office version. If that, in that case, you'd be spending more money for it, so you
Ooh,
might
50
not.
euros.
Yeah, that's for the Pro version. Is there an option in here for, here's home and office down here. Customers who bought this product also purchased home and office. But all this page looks like it's for Pro. Notify me updates for Pro, share product, affiliate login. Here's home and office 10 licenses. That's something that's new for them. So the only thing here I see for home and office is down here. And this, that still says, that says Pro there. Oh, this says home and office.
If you go to the software link up there, then it shows you all the different options for buying both of them.
Software, oh, here. Yeah, home and office. There's buy now. Is it clickable? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm a little uncertain that he gets the credit for the home and office version, but it doesn't cost you anything to click there to go through it.
Hey, Doug.
If you're willing. Yes.
I would like to clarify something about that sysprep.
Yeah.
In order to do the sysprep the way you're wanting, what you would have to do is you would have to run the sysprep, check mark the generalized box after you get all your programs installed. Run the sysprep, and then once tell it you want to shut down the computer, and once the computer shuts down, then you would have to boot up off of like a Mac Reflect rescue USB and make an image or a copy of it that way, because the other way to do it, like I did it at college, requires you to have a Windows server set up.
Okay.
You can copy an image to and then be able to deploy it over the network.
Yeah, that fits with what I was expecting. I was expecting to generalize, and I was expecting to boot up off of a Macrium bootable USB and make the image. And then,
but if you do the sysprep and then make the image using Macrium off of a USB, I think that should work.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. I'm eager to see that happen, because I could also then, I'm interested in comparing the real world performance of different computers that are equipped differently. So if I can have a computer that has a lot of stuff installed, like my computer number 2 would be a good candidate for that, and restore that to another computer that has different hardware capabilities, and show with these certain real world work that I do, the performance differences, I think that could be an interesting thing. Now I say my computer number 2 is a candidate for that instead of the streamer, because the computer I use for streaming has to have all these USB connections, and I'm not going to be able to replicate that on other computers reasonably. But I'm very intrigued that Javi says he's done it a lot. Now I don't know. I asked him about the circumstances. Was there, unique software installed on these, or were they just very basic? And my understanding from him, if I understood right, is that he found unique software would work. Now there's certainly some unique software that probably that install with license keys that are hardware specific would be a different issue. All right, anyway, we'll see. So any other?
I've got 5 computers that, I could use one as a guinea pig. I want to try that.
Yeah.
See if it can be done.
Great. Go ahead. Do it. I want to know. I want to, and let's put it on video in any way that you can, because that saves me the time of trying it.
Yeah, how's he do it, supposedly?
If I'm successful, I'll let you know, and we'll do a video on it.
Yeah, as far as how he does it, that's I'm saying that he creates an image backup and restores it, but I don't know what software he's using for that, or if that even makes a difference.
I don't know if it works because I haven't tried it. I have some software called Paragon Hard Disk Manager.
I've heard of that.
I've come across
It's-
that.
And that's what I had used in the past to do all my image backups and everything. And they claim there was an option in there that would let you do that in some manner. I don't even remember the details now.
Actually, my favorite go-to Macrium Reflect, now that you mention that, it does have something along those lines too. I just haven't researched into it.
It supposedly you can go out and look up the right drivers for the different system and all that sort of stuff if you do it correctly, but
All right.
I don't have any personal experience with it.
That would be the only problem using one of these as a guinea pig. Will it reach out and get the drivers for the right hardware?
Oh, hey, look at this. Sam put in here, if you search Fabs Auto Backup on YouTube and do newest to oldest for the video, the first 2 videos is from my channel. Cool.
Yeah.
Of course, how that that's with the qualification of searching newest to oldest. So if you just search
Yep.
Fabs Auto Backup, I'm probably not not to be found. Anywho, but I haven't done a specifically Fabs Auto Backup dedicated video either, so maybe that'll come in better. So anyway, I don't see any more orange in the chat room. I'm kind of ready to put this episode to bed. Anybody gonna reach out through the screen and shake my shoulders and say, no, wait, I want to talk about this first? You gonna let me go?
I'm just writing a comment.
They all spoke at once.
Tim tells me, or somebody tells me on here, that you got a lot of experience with email server stuff.
Got a lot of experience with Outlook.
Was that Alex? Was that a question to Tim or me?
That was a question to you.
To me and say the question again.
I was just wondering if you had experience with like email server, Linux email server experience. When I set up our website, I tried to set up an email server as part of that, and I can send like from my Gmail address or from my Outlook address or whatever to that email server I set up. But the second I try to send something from the email server to Gmail specifically, I get an automated reply back from Google saying that they don't like my email server, and if it's any other like Outlook or something, anything I send to like Outlook or Yahoo is going to automatically go to the junk folder. So I wondered if you had any experience with how to fix that.
I have a suspicion, but I can't. Sort of from experience. I've seen a lot of problems happen with email being rejected by some email servers, and my deduction is that the destination email server is looking back at the server that it came from and testing, considering, evaluating how reliable or safe is that email server. And I would suspect it has something to do with your email server not being up to the standards required by the email server.
I've seen it's just created Outlook accounts for us, so we're not using it. But it would be, if you think it's something we can attempt to fix on a Zoom call or something, I would like to look into it and see if we can get it fixed.
I don't think that's something that I can help with as far as the types of help that I'm trying to provide. I don't have the experience with hosting, maintaining an email server. As a matter of fact, that scares me to death.
Uh-huh.
I
was-
had a client, this financial services client, when I first started with them, I don't know, 15 or more years ago, maybe, they had their own in-house email server. And at that time, I think it was like 7 or 8 person office, which I thought there was nobody maintaining it. They were riddled with troubles, and I think that's one of the first things I did with them is
one of
get
those
their
job
email
interviews.
out of
One of
host,
those
let 'em
job
refresh.
interviews I went to, I tried to explain that to them, and they fully understood why I stopped trying to mess with it, because everything else works. The website and everything, and creating stuff and everything else works. It's just that I can't get the email situation I can't get like Gmail or Outlook or any other service to like my.
Well, the other thing that came to mind was something in DNS settings that just isn't quite right.
My understanding, and I could be wrong, because I did run my own Linux email server back in the 90s. Some standard got changed where if it's not a domain that's quote unquote known, basically the email server tells you to go take a hike because they don't know who you are.
Kicks you out.
Security has tightened up a lot.
Yeah, you can't run your own personal email server anymore. Nobody will accept it.
Really?
Yeah. I would believe
it changed. I don't remember exactly when it changed, but in the 90s I ran my own Linux email server. I was on my own domain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I set all this up. I went to do that again after maybe a 10-year period, and I was advised, no, nobody will accept email from a private email server.
Yeah. That's what I figured. It'll work. You can still set it up. You can still download the software.
Oh yeah, you can load it. You can make all the functions and all that. But you try to send to anybody else, they'll basically tell you to take a hike.
It won't populate right.
Let's go take a look at this thing in chat about a troll. Kenny. Kenny asking Sam, you timed a guy out for saying good night. Why? So apparently that was this drunken troll, and I unhid the comment here. If that Laku knock, if that is
it's like Serbian or Croatian. That's all.
Yeah, it's a different language saying good night. So
yeah, you got the wrong button.
As far as answering the reason why, I totally understand why. It looks very similar to that weird URL that somebody else put in earlier. And for somebody that doesn't know that language, it could easily be mistaken as a troll. So the answer is why is they're put in something that looks like a troll comment using a language that we don't understand. So I see easily why Sam did that, even if it was in error. So if drunken troll is still around, I apologize for the misunderstanding, but you're going to have that once in a while if you're using a different language in the chat.
Yeah.
Not bad, but if you might can educate us. Laku not. That means good night in whatever language. That would be interesting. So, he laughed it. Drunken troll gives an LOL. So thank you for having a good-natured humor about that. That sounds like a really good thing to end on.
English, please.
English, yeah, English is preferred. If you're gonna give us something in a different language, let us know. Tell us. It's just. And Kenny says he used Google Translate to see what he said, and Drunken Troll says it's Croatian. Happy to know it. So I'm gonna try to sign off with in like kind. How would I pronounce that?
Yeah, Google Translate.
Huh?
Ask Google Translate to read it to you.
Yeah. So if I go copy this, Control C, and then go to Google, and whoops, missed the first character. I'm gonna come back and triple click, to get a better copy of that. Come back up here, Control A to select all, Control V for paste, enter. Wiktionary. Oh, Carey had something yesterday about pronunciation something, and I found a pronunciation in Wikipedia here. She told me that it's good night. It's not giving a pronunciation button here.
Hi.
Huh?
They might read it out to you. That should be an option.
But I don't see anything to click on to have it read it to me. I've seen that on other words, but not this one.
Using Google Translate.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't try that. Okay, so
Yeah.
I haven't even tried doing that. Google
Yep.
Translate and then paste the word.
Correct. And then get it to read to you.
There we go. There we
Okay.
go. All right. So be quiet for a minute so I can listen. Oh, I gotta unmute this.
Play.
Gotta unmute my sound on that computer.
Locking note.
Lakunok. 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 Kind of has a T sound on the end of it. Lakunok.
Yeah.
Lakunok. Okay, so everybody, Lakunok.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks for being here. Shutting everything down. Lakunok. Got that down. Come back here, bring up an email address if you want to contact me for some kind of computer support issues that you have, whatever it may be. Send me an email, DougBetts@LiveWindowsTraining.com, and we'll put it together to create a YouTube video together for whatever your issue is. All right, so have a great day. I hope that was useful. See you later. Bye.